Afternoons from 3 to 6. It's time to get up and get your day started.
Get up! Get up!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Time for another edition of Sports 56 Morning. Today, the Thursday, June 18th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Jay Ham with you. We're live and local broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together, getting you set for the summer, which officially begins on Sunday. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road. That is just north of I-40. Currently 76 degrees, high humidity. It feels like 86 already, and we're going to have variable cloudiness, couple of showers, possibility of a thunderstorm today. Then tonight, low of 69. Cloudy and humid once again. There is a chance of showers and possible heavy thunderstorms. Tomorrow looks like it'll be a pretty nice day. We'll see more of the sun tomorrow with a 25% chance of precip, and then we get into the weekend. Saturday right now looks brilliant. Sunday looks to be cloudy, about a 55% chance of precip, and then some thunderstorms in the forecast for Monday. Hour one of the program is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. It's Thursday. That means their huge happy hour takes place today from 4 to 7. Wind down with an award-winning craft spirit, a pregame cocktail. Not a pregame in this case, but certainly a great cocktail from Old Dominick Distillery, made with the Old Dominick spirits, whether it be the Tennessee whiskey, bourbon whiskey, Honeybell citrus vodka, or the Formula 10 gin. They make it all right there at their downtown distillery at 305 South Front Street. But today, during happy hour, $7 cocktails made with the signature spirits, $4 local beers at the distillery bar, which is absolutely fabulous. If you haven't been down there, you need to get down there. You also need to take a tour of the Old Dominick Distillery. Find out about the history, which dates back 150 years. Old Dominick Distillery, come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Lots to get to today on this Thursday edition of Sports 56 Mornings, closing in on the NBA draft next week. Still a lot of talk, a lot of speculation, but nothing has transpired as of a trade. And again, everybody's got their eyes on Milwaukee to see what will happen with Giannis, as most people believe. If that happens, and many believe it will happen, that will open up the floodgates, and who knows, maybe even involve the Grizzlies and Ja Morant with some sort of deal here before the draft, but more than likely it probably won't come until after the draft. But we'll talk all things NBA. In New York, of course, will be the ticker tape parade for the NBA champion New York Knickerbockers. Free agents can deal with their own teams right now. We're getting word on several of them. LeBron James news yesterday. Trae Young news came down later yesterday, and we will discuss that on the program today. The U.S. Open, the 126th version, is underway from Shinnecock Hills. Well, it was underway. It has been temporarily suspended because of fog. So winds are going to be a factor today, and now it's fog that has greeted the golfers at the U.S. Open. More players have been invited to the NBA Draft Green Room. We'll give you those names. The World Cup rolls right along, and once again, stars continue to be stars. That's why they're called stars. The College World Series, we now have our finalists. We'll give you that information, and then more news from the Protect College Football Act, some other college football news that we'll dive into. At 7:25, Austin White will join us. You'll want to tune in. He's the project executive for MFA Program Management. They're overseeing the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium renovation. So any questions you have, I'm sure, will be answered by Austin White about what to expect when you step into that stadium for their first ever game after the renovations. That'll be the second week of the season, Labor Day weekend, against Arkansas State. Steve Sands, speaking of the U.S. Open, he will join us from the Golf Channel on NBC from Shinnecock Hills at 8:05. At 8:25, we talk Major League Baseball, as we do every week, with Kerry Miller from Bleacher Report. And then we'll talk a little Grizzlies, not about the team, but about everything that's going on with the draft, with the summer and the kids' camps and all that good stuff with our friend Carly Lyons. You can hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255 by calling in or texting in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, look at the fog. Wasn't even all I was expecting today was fierce winds, and now we're going to probably get every element that Mother Nature throws at these golfers this week, and there's probably going to be a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's not a fun way to start the day for these guys up early to get their first rounds underway and having the delay. But hopefully that fog clears out of there and they can make sure everything is run smoothly. We don't we have no problem getting the entire first round in today.
Yeah, the last thing you want though is you waking up very, very early for the first round. Those who are going off early, you prepare, you practice, you do everything you need to do. You step out onto the course, you play a hole. Maybe two. I think they've gone through, 2 holes? The earliest starters?
Yeah, I'm not sure how far the first groups actually got. And
then you stop. And you got to do it all over again. You got to warm up again, loosen up again, and get ready. It's not easy, I'm sure, mentally or physically. Jay Ham, how are you this morning?
I am good and ready to go. How about you fellas?
Doing good. Would you like to be in New York for the parade?
I normally will try to stay away from situations with large crowds like that. Me too. But that's a one-in-a-lifetime type deal right there. I would have to check that out. I may have to get a secured spot up top where I can just watch everything that way. Right. I don't want to be down in the madness.
Yeah, and I can understand. We had Matt Infield on yesterday. For those who missed it, from Action News 5, he is a lifelong Knicks fan. He's not like he's 60 years old, but he's still been a fan since he was a little kid. And he flew into New York yesterday, so he's going to the parade, as you said, kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. With the Knicks, it may be, right? 53 years since their last championship. So he's going to partake in that, and then he's going to head back to Memphis and call the Hound Dogs game with Jeff Brightwell Friday night. But more power to him. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think I want to be a part of those parades. I really don't.
It's just a large mass of just people. I'm cool with that.
And you know what? Maybe when I was young, I would want to do it. Oh, yeah. The first thing I would think about for me going to a parade, whether it be at Lincoln Park for the Bulls or the Cubs parade or any the Chiefs, huge parades like that is, okay, am I locked in here because I know I'm going to have to go to the bathroom? Where are the bathrooms? How easily accessible are the bathrooms? I'm sorry, that's what I think about at 64 going on 65.
It reminded me of my mom when my sister took my mom to see Obama speak. And she was like, they got down front, but then my mom got down and was like, this is way too much.
Right.
And she got overheated and things of that nature, and they had to wheel her out of there. But the experience, she thought she was going to be up for it, but when it got there, it was just way too much for her.
I saw, Eli, I forget what concert it was, when it was, some huge event. And they said there was 250,000 people. And you saw them from the stage all the way back, like it went forever. And then it went wide as well. So long, right, vertically and horizontally. And I'm looking at these people in the middle going, again, how do you get out? How do you get out if you have the active bladder that I have? You're drinking. You're certainly going to be drinking. I mean, it's just like a plane. And a plane's not that packed where I'm like, I need an aisle seat. I always tell my wife, I'm sorry, you got to sit in the middle. Hopefully it's like 2, but a lot of times it's 3, especially if you're going distance. And I say, don't put me in the middle, or don't get the window and middle. Get the middle and aisle. I got to be on the aisle. So I don't know. The Cubs parade. You weren't at the Cubs parade, right?
I was not. No.
Did you think about it for a second of going, or are you like us?
No, I did not. It was not a possibility, so I never considered it.
If it was a possibility, would you have done it?
I have no idea. Probably. I don't have any desire to.
Yeah, so you're like us, but there are so many people that do. They want to be a part of it. Now, 50 years from now, they'll say, "Hey, I was at the parade." No, you weren't. You weren't at the parade. You were working. We know you were working. We have factual evidence that you were working.
We got the facts, that you got the receipts.
Exactly. But you can get away with maybe a parade. Because it's a little bit different than the games.
I did the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York, so I'm good on my New York parade.
Okay, that's another one. I'm sorry. I don't want to deal with that thing because I can't imagine. Now, I wonder if it would be stupid for the businesses to close during that because you're trying to make money as well for your business. But I wonder how many places are open where you could just zip in and use the restroom and zip out. Probably not too many.
I wouldn't think too many because I think those people are celebrating too. I mean, we saw videos of
the
bus
businesses
driver.
are open, but you don't allow you just go in to use the restroom and leave. Like you got to go in and.
Oh yeah.
Although in
Absolutely.
the United States, it's so for anybody who's traveled abroad, especially Europe, you know, bathrooms. First of all, you pay for most of them. You pay like $1 euro, like a $1 euro coin, but they're hard to find sometimes. And then, God forbid, you try to go into a restaurant because they're all like mostly like cafes, and there's not like Steak and Shake. You know, there are some fast food. Don't get me wrong, but most of the time it's not like that where you can just run into. You know, the hotels are different. It's not just like a line of Holiday Inns where you can zip in and zip out.
You also have to remember most people aren't like you. They don't go to the bathroom every 5 minutes.
I know,
we could
but they're
survive for
all-
hours out there without worrying about it.
True, but that's my point. That's why as I'm older, I don't want to do that. As I said to Jay Ham, if I'm younger and I was a Knicks fan, I was in my 20s or 30s, I'd say, yeah, I can go out there because you're right. I can stay out there.
Your awareness about you is even
Yes,
more.
I know where I stand. I know where I stand. But it's funny because our mutual friend knows probably all the great bathrooms in the area. He's like Costanza on Seinfeld. You know, just pick an area of Memphis and go, okay, this is when you have to go. You know, you want to go at home, for goodness sakes. Or maybe if you have a nice work bathroom. But you're driving around or doing something and you got to get to a place in a hurry. You want to know the nice places to stop at. That you know it's going to be clean. And we, unfortunately, don't have a Buc-ee's right now in the city. We will have a couple of Buc-ee's surrounding us, but right now, no Buc-ee's. And we know, unless things have changed, Buc-ee's is pretty damn clean. And that's why the Europeans are losing their mind. That's one of the reasons. All the food options and I'm sure the clean Corto de Baños.
And the Scottish, they drank the people in Boston out of all the beers, so I thought that was smooth.
And you're telling me they don't have to go to the bathroom somewhere? I guarantee you. Yeah, what do they call it? Is it the Tartan Army?
Tartan Army.
Man. Viva la Scotland, for goodness sakes. But more action yesterday at the World Cup. And again, the stars, Harry Kane, the big-time World Cupper for England, couple of goals. They beat Croatia, who's a very good team.
I think we call that a
4-2.
brace in the game.
We like to call it a brace. Portugal, Congo DR 1-1. And so no goals for Cristiano Ronaldo. He hasn't scored on the international stage in a long time. And people are losing their collective minds because he's older and they think that maybe he didn't belong on the team. It's one of those figureheads, you know, one of the all-time greats, but he's lost his luster. I don't know about that, but I do know that was a surprise that they ended up drawing with Congo. Ghana, a late goal in extra time, beat Panama 1-0. And then, I don't know if you saw that one, and then they got a little feisty in the end. When you give up that goal in the final moments of stoppage time, eesh. So, we almost, calmer heads prevailed, but we almost had a little brouhaha. And then Colombia won last night 3-1. And I'm so mad because I had a play on that and I won, but I took the offer that they gave me instead of letting it ride out. And Colombia scored a late goal, and it would have covered and would have won. I would have won the whole bet. But I took the the offer. They give you the offer to get out of it.
What'd you bet on it?
I bet on over 3.5 goals. I bet on Colombia to win by a goal and a half. And I went both teams to score at least a goal. So it was that parlay. And so they ended up scoring. I don't know how late it was, but on the 84th minute, because I'd already taken the bet, now it's time to go to bed because that was the late game. 84th minute, I go, all right. I just don't want him to score again, even though my bet was done. I don't want him to score again because I'll feel bad that I did not let it ride. And because I'm so conservative gambling-wise when I do. And I went to bed 84th minute, and obviously they scored late. I'm not even sure if they scored in the regulation or in the extra time, but they ended up winning that one 3-1. So finally,
I got to be honest. Uzbekistan seems like the one I don't picture Uzbekistan as
A
soccer nation.
I know.
I'm like, really? Like they're in the World Cup?
You just like saying that because you can pronounce it so eloquently.
I just would not. I would not picture them being in the World Cup.
Yeah,
We may have too many teams in the World Cup if Uzbekistan's there. I don't know where they were. Maybe they're actually good at soccer. I have no idea. But that just does not seem like a country that I would expect to be in the World Cup.
No, I see what you're saying, but it's almost like every single country
like the World
plays
Cup
soccer.
The World Cup of curling. I would say Uzbekistan. I would be Uzbek. I'll take
Cricket or
Uzbekistan.
something.
I'll go with Uzbekistan. I don't even know for sure where Uzbekistan is, but it just doesn't sound like a soccer country.
Is it part of the old?
No clue.
Is it part of the old Czechoslovakia thing, or is it part of the old Russia thing?
I think it's part of Russia, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
But anyway, yeah, you had all those break off nations and all that, but
It
everybody
sounds like
plays
a
soccer.
Russian thing. That's why it sounds like a Russian
I
thing.
want to know
That's why
who
I say
doesn't.
that.
I want to know who doesn't play soccer. I was reading about the teams that didn't get in that are the best of the rest. Of course, Italy. It was one
First four out?
They did have it. They did. There was a story and it said first four out, but I guess we're just playing off of the college basketball terminology. But Italy, which has won multiple World Cups, they didn't get in. Greece didn't get in. Cameroon, which is supposed to be a really good team from Africa, did not get in. There's a bunch of other ones. But, I mean, is there anybody, like, does Vietnam play soccer? I'm just trying to think of, like.
Two things I'll work on. Yeah, I'll get back with you.
India? I assume India does. They have so many people there that they're playing soccer, too, even though I think cricket's the number one sport. But, anyway, today starts go back to, I guess, Group A, and they play their second matches. So you get Canada in action today, your favorite country. You get Mexico in action as well. United States plays tomorrow against Australia, both winners. United States 4-1 over Paraguay.
So is it going to be a week between games every time?
I guess so.
Jesus.
I guess it's a 6-week process, the World Cup. But I know you made the comment earlier in the week about it being an afternoon match. And it will be. The United States and Australia is tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of people won't be able to see it that are working. Although on Friday, you kind of hook you a little bit. You probably leave early. But you still might miss it. It starts at what time? 3 or 2?
I believe it's 2 o'clock.
At 2 o'clock our time.
Yeah, so a lot of people, I think, at work will miss that. So anyway, that's what's going on with the World Cup. College Baseball World Series. We know our two participants in the best of 3 championship series, the North Carolina Tar Heels from the ACC and the Oklahoma Sooners. A little bit of a surprise from the SEC. North Carolina beat West Virginia yesterday 12-7 to advance and eliminate the Mountaineers. Oklahoma beat Georgia 11-4. They hit 5 home runs and they eliminate Georgia.
Yeah, Oklahoma has caught an all-time heater. It is nuts. I mean, they were 11th in the SEC. They went 14-16 in the SEC this year.
That is crazy.
They lost in the first round of the SEC tournament. And then since then, they went to the regional where they knocked off the number 2 team, the number 2 seed in Georgia Tech. We're down 8-2 to the number 2 team in an elimination game. Came back to win that and haven't lost since. They've beaten the number 2 seed, the number 3 seed now. They beat Alabama, who was the 7 seed in the first round down at Omaha. I mean, it's insane. Like, they just keep mashing home runs. They hit 65 home runs during the regular season in their 56 games or whatever. 65 home runs. They've hit 26 in 10 NCAA tournament games. They have caught, they're on fire. Like, everybody just keeps mashing the baseball. The 2 guys who last night both hit 2 home runs in the game had 4 for the year, both of them. And they both hit 2 in a game.
Hard to believe.
It's insane. They have just caught a heater and are going nuts offensively. And they start all these freshman pitchers who have been terrific and just did an unbelievable job against Georgia in that offense. It's just crazy. It's like, but that's baseball. You get hot at the right time. The Ole Miss in 22, of course, when they beat Oklahoma in the final. Don't let the Rebs get hot. Well, the Sooners have gotten hot, and they look like a machine right now.
So I assume they were one of the last teams that got in as an at-large, finishing 11th in the league, losing in the first round of the conference tournament, although I'm not sure how much that factors in.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly they were as far as getting in amongst the at-large teams.
But again, your point taken with the finishing 11th. So North Carolina almost got eliminated as well in the Super Regionals, as we've talked about, against USC. They were down to their final couple of outs. They were about to get knocked out by the Trojans, and they rallied and they won. So you have two teams that went through their hurdles, were able to clear those hurdles, and now we'll meet in the best 2 of 3 starting Saturday. Again, North Carolina and Oklahoma. And if the SEC and Oklahoma win, that would be 6 straight for the SEC, 7 out of 8. And during that streak of 6, it would be 6 different schools. So we'll see what happens.
That is incorrect, by the way. It would be.
It's not?
LSU has won 2 of the last 3, so it's.
Well, that's what I asked you yesterday. Were they all different teams? Okay, but it would be
7 in a row, 6 teams.
Is that correct? 7 in a row? Okay.
They won in 19. There was no tournament in 20,
right.
And they've won everything
21,
since.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So that'd be 7 in a row.
It'll be 7 in a row with 6 different teams.
Okay.
LSU was the one repeat winner.
8 out of 9.
Yes, I believe that.
Yeah, 8 out of 9. So it's been an SEC dynasty as far as baseball is concerned. All right, we got a lot to get to as far as other topics, including college football. The latest with the Protect College Sports Act and some interesting tidbits that Ross Dellinger has brought up that are inside this latest revised bill, which has some players not happy. We'll tell you about that later on in the show. When we come back, though, it's all about Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. We'll talk to Austin White, the project executive for MFA Program Management. Again, hour 1 of the program brought to you by the great folks at Old Dominick Distillery at 305 South Front Street, online at olddominick.com. They list all their whiskeys and spirits on the website. They list all their signature cocktails and instructions on how you can make them at home using Old Dominick spirits. But again, today, happy hour. Take advantage of today, 4 to 7. Maybe a pregame cocktail before you go watch the Redbirds play at AutoZone Park. $7 cocktails made with signature spirits. They are out of this world. And $4 local beers at Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits. Stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey everybody, June is about baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and a new All-Star Chevrolet. Because staycation or vacation, it begins right here in Olive Branch. So let's see how low your payments can go. Come to All-Star and see what 0% financing for 5 years on all these new Silverados will do for you. Because your good credit deserves it. Military and first responders, you get an extra $500 bonus. And All-Star Chevrolet has pre-owned makes and models for any budget. Price in the 10s, 15s, or 20s. Or you can go big with a Tahoe, Traverse with the 3rd row seating, Corvette Stingray. Oh yeah, pre-owned Silverados, they always got them. And for your commercial and fleet needs, All-Star Chevy is a top-rated business elite dealer. Express cargo and express passenger vans, they are there in Olive Branch. And if you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the best sale of the summer event going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning, T-Dot's on the scene of a couple of accidents out here. It's trying to build even more so now. Coming in from Collierville on 385. Bill Morris Parkway coming inbound. You get on that ramp there on to 240, passing Mount Moriah. Midtown traffic's trying to increase even more northbound on 240 here up by South Parkway. Hey, be sure to check out the animals that are available for adoption today at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County. Go to their website. Those animals are on there at memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:27 the time, hour number 1 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Thursday, June 18th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham. There continues to be fog at Shinnecock Hills in New York on the island, and play continues to be suspended at the U.S. Open. And one other note, we were talking about the World Series final series matchup. It's now known after yesterday's results. North Carolina will take on Oklahoma. We were talking about this great dynasty of the SEC in baseball. LSU, by the way, since 1991, have won the World Series title 8 times, and 2 of the last 3. Yesterday, we were talking about the press conference the other day that Dr. Ed Scott held, and we found out more about what's going on at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium with the renovations. And we're going to find out a lot more even today here on the program, as we are joined now by Austin White. He is the project executive for MFA Program Management. He's overseeing his company and all the fine folks there overseeing the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium renovations. And Austin joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Austin, how are you?
Good morning, Greg and Eli. Thanks for having me. Doing well.
Thank you for joining us. All right, so before we get to the particulars about the renovations in the stadium, and you guys not only are in the midst of this project, you do so many different projects, and I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to do to stay on time, to stay on budget, but that's the way it is right now with this project. I know there had to be some hiccups at some times, but it does seem from the outside looking in, Austin, that things have been pretty smooth, knock on wood, so far for you guys.
Yes, sir. And to be honest, like Dr. Ed Scott laid it out the other day, I think the prime function of that, of success, is having a great nucleus and a great team behind you, and having the support of the administration, Dr. Bill Hargrave, Dr. Ed Scott, Tim Duncan, Terrence Lawley, Cooper Jones, and I could sit here and go on the entire segment with the great names of the folks that have really shown their support and made this thing possible. We've also had a great design team in Populous out of Kansas City and their local partner, BRG3S, Barton Mallow Builders, and their associates here, Grinder, Taper Grinder, and All World. So it's been a fantastic group effort to make this project work.
And Austin, Dr. Scott emphasized during that presser that while it is, technically it's renovations, but really, he said, it's just about a new stadium. Can you comment on that? I mean, because it's more than just what we're seeing on the west side. There's projects all around that stadium that are taking place.
That's absolutely correct. It's a true transformative project for the stadium. There's 360 degrees of construction going on out there right now, from the south scoreboard to the north tunnel expansion, and then a lot of work going on the east. A lot of work that had to occur on the east to make this project possible back in the summer of 2024.
What are the challenges because you already have the structure and it is a massive renovation versus just building a new structure?
Well, with renovations, you have existing foundations underground you have to deal with from the start. You have to deal with, partial demolition, keeping areas safe that need to remain intact, navigating around those challenges, navigating around existing utilities, things that are underground that you may or may not know are there, especially with a facility like this that was built in the 60s. There was a whole lot of stuff that we had to learn through the early stages of this project to be successful long term.
Okay, so let's start with the visual. The scoreboards. Everybody wants to know: is there one scoreboard going up? Are there two? And then the ribbons. What exactly does that mean? Give us all the details about what people will see when they get into that stadium, as far as scoreboards and the visual.
They're going to see 360 degrees of visual in that stadium. From the new ribbon boards, there's two standard ribbon boards that are going on the east skyboxes and then the west tower between levels 5 and 600. There's the mega ribbon board that's going below level 300, right above the new Landers Plaza. And then there's the replacement of the north scoreboard that's going to have full video capability, high resolution. And then the enlargement and replacement of the south scoreboard that's now going to span 47 foot by 114 foot. It's going to be the largest scoreboard that's ever been in the stadium. It's very impressive.
And that new South End video scoreboard that you talked about will be as large as video boards at Ohio State, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arizona State. So playing with the big boys.
Absolutely, right there in the Power Four.
Do you know what the measurements were on the old one?
I believe it was about. It didn't grow in height. I believe it was about 47 by 96.
Okay.
Don't fact check me on that, but it was close.
I'm not getting out there with a tape measure. You could have said anything. Well, I have to believe you. We have no idea what it was like. But that's why I just wondered how much bigger this is that we're talking about, because
it's grown significantly.
Yeah, the other one was big. Like the idea that this is that much larger as well. What about the sound system and the new sound system and kind of the impact that will have?
This one's really a game changer. They've always had out there speakers that were mounted on the east and west of the south scoreboard, and that was a point source audio system. So as Dr. Scott laid it out the other day, if you were sitting in the south end zone, you needed earplugs, and if you're sitting in the north end zone, you couldn't hear sometimes. This is going to cover the entire 360 degrees of the stadium. There's subwoofer enhancements going in, so not only can you hear the game and you feel the game. There's speakers going on top of the east skybox and the west tower. There's speakers going on the sides as well, the west tower. There's pole-mounted speakers in the corners of the stadium, and there's speakers on top of the north scoreboard, and then there's speakers that are going to be flanking the upper east and west sides of the south scoreboard, much smaller in that area than it was prior.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Austin, but the old system of audio basically came through the old scoreboard. So for people in that general area, it may have sound overmodulated or blasting, and then down on the other end, you could hardly hear it.
Correct. And this is going to eliminate that issue. You're going to have the same audio experience no matter where you are in the stadium.
All right. Also, with the scoreboards, you talked about all those changing, the ribbon boards as well. And by the way, real quick, for those who don't know what you mean by a ribbon board, tell everybody what that is all about.
So usually they're kind of about 3.5 feet tall, and they span the length of a structure. Typically, if you think about looking up at FedEx Forum, those small little LED boards that run advertisements or a scroll of scores from other games, things like that.
Okay, and then the LED entertainment lighting system, another visual enhancement for the fans. Explain that one to us.
Yeah, so we've got brand new Musco sports lights. They're RGB LED. So what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to change the color for the entire stadium. So when the team runs out of the tunnel for the beginning of the game, or they score a touchdown, they'll be able to flash it blue in the stadium, or any other color for ancillary events such as concerts, things of that nature. So it's a huge upgrade for the stadium, and it's where stadiums are going with this technology.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really, because I remember like way back in the day, like when the lights went off, like it took them like 10 minutes to come back on. You had to wait for lights. Now the ability to do those types of light shows, I mean, I think that stuff is really cool for, the way some of these places do it on a touchdown or whatever else. I mean, I think, that technology to me is just awesome.
All right, let's talk about the tunnel, because that's something that's of interest to a lot of people. Not only what it will look like, but the significance of having the tunnel.
Absolutely. So the tunnel was something that Dr. Scott and the university were very passionate about, and for good reason. It's going to allow semis to get down to the field for load-ins for other events. And it just creates a straight shot right out of the field, into the parking lot for easy accessibility. The existing ramp that was there, kind of the dogleg ramp that exists today, and in past years, that's going to remain. That'll be accessible for pedestrian access. It'll be accessible for golf carts and gators, load in of small equipment, things like that. But being able to achieve, that minimum 14-foot height now for a semi to get down to the field is transformative for the building.
One of the things too that I feel like it just had to be a kind of a monotonous thing is the basically waterproofing or resealing of all of the different expansion joints, everything else around that place. That seems like that has to be just one heck of a project.
It is. To do it correctly, you have to pull up every bleacher, every seat out there, because you have to be able to get underneath all of that and seal everything up watertight. The expansion joints being replaced is also huge. It's going to stop a lot of the pooling water, just leaks and things that I know fans have seen over the years. And it's really another transformative piece that's going to impact 360 degrees of the stadium.
Yeah, so when you're walking on the concourse on a rainy day or rainy night, you're not supposed to see any leaks. Won't feel any leaks. That's all sealed up.
Correct. And, again, it's an exposed concourse, so if you get a heavy wind blowing from one direction to the other,
yeah.
it won't stop that. But, yeah, it's going to stop it coming through the bowl for sure. You're not going to be walking through puddles.
The other thing I saw, again, with the enhancements, with the ceiling, and all that's going on with the seats, is also the cleaning, just the general cleaning. I saw a picture of a section that had been cleaned up, and I don't know what you're all doing to do that looked like brand new, and then the next one hadn't been touched yet, and you could see all the kind of the grime from all those years of use, and you're doing almost, I imagine, a complete cleanup.
Yes, and so all those sections, basically the process is they'll pull up all the bleachers and chair backs, they'll power wash everything, and then they'll go through, prime it, and then have a sealing coating that goes over it. And then they go back and reapply all the seating, bleachers that was taken out. And so it gives you a very clean, almost brand new look.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure one question that many folks will have will be about bathrooms. Is the number of bathrooms the same, more, less? How? And I assume redone, obviously, on the new side, or the one side, they're all brand new. But what is the bathroom situation compared to what it used to be?
Well, there's new restrooms that have been built behind the plaza over by what was kind of the north end over there that had some demo work. There's a new building going in over there. So you're going to have really, really high fixture counts in those areas, which is great. And another thing, just to remind everyone of, last summer an effort was made to go through all of the existing concourse restrooms and add speakers. So when fans get up and have to go to the restroom during the game, they don't miss a play. They're able to stay tuned into the game.
The East Side also has had some work done. The window replacements for those who have suites on the East Side. That's, of course, the media side. Can you discuss what they've done over there with the window replacement?
The window replacement's huge. It was highly visible with large window mullions that were, from the original installation when that renovation was done. This is a modernized system. It's much sleeker. The mullions are slimmer. It increases your visibility from those suites up there. What it also does is it provides hoppers at the top of the windows that open to the inside of the suite. And so previously, all the windows had to be bolted shut because when you're walking down to those suites, as large as they were, they lifted up. It was a safety hazard. Now you're going to be able to open those hoppers. There's no safety hazard any longer, and you have the ability to hear the game clearly and really feel like you're part of the experience. So it's a massive upgrade.
I got a text from a listener who wanted to know about the Halo area, and then asked the question glassed in. That wasn't talked about. Is that still part of it, the Halo?
The Halo, as far as the stadium improvements, absolutely. There's a lot of site work going on out there to improve and activate that area. I know Dr. Scott talked Tuesday about activating that area and that, getting fans into the Halo with other forms of potential entertainment pregame. So I think that's an incredible opportunity for the university.
So that basically would be you show your ticket, you go inside, and now you're in the Halo, and then you go from the Halo inside the stadium or up into the suites on either side. Is that correct?
Pretty much. Theoretically, you would enter in and then be in the Halo, and I'd have to defer to athletics on how exactly you go from one area to another.
Okay.
I know that they're the experts here and very equipped to delegate that.
All right, let's talk about the beautiful new West Side that's closing in on being completed. A lot of people will never get up there. I mean, it's their hope to one day be able to get up there. But if you can kind of paint a visual of what we have without going into too much detail on all the floors of what is going on with that side.
Absolutely. You'll enter in through the Halo, and there'll be a bank of elevators. The first level is going to be level 300. That's a club with some loge box seating and some club seats. Got a large bar up there, concessions, all of that. You go up to the 400 level. That's the founders level. There's 10 total suites up there. As Dr. Scott said on Tuesday, those have been completely sold out. You go up to the next level. That's the 500 level, which is going to include a 2-story club with a large monument stair and bar that kind of connects levels 5 and 600. 500 is going to have club seats and loge boxes, and then the 600 level right above it is all more of kind of your classic standard suites, and there's 16 of those.
So those. So I guess the 300 and the 500, that includes, there's outdoor seating as well as the indoor suite portion. Is that correct?
Everything is outdoor. You have an indoor club, but all of your seating is outdoor on levels 300 and levels 500.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I like to call the party deck. I don't think that's the technical term for it, but we discussed that with Dr. Scott as well the other day. That is going to be for those who are in the seats just below it, and then anybody that's in the suites on that side. But I know this is probably not your avenue of expertise, Austin, but Dr. Scott talked about that they're probably going to be able to add wristbands for those who want to purchase those, certain amount because it'll be capped because of the fire codes and all that, but that people will be able to get into that area where there'll be bars and access to possibility of food trucks outside it. And so that'll be nice. That'll be something that people who are either in suites on the west side or in those seats, which I don't even know what you call those seats below, have the access to that.
Yes, sir. I would stick to what Dr. Scott and his team have said regarding plaza access. That really is their area of expertise. What I can tell you about the plaza is that it'll have two, very large featured bars. These things are massive. They're 40 feet wide and 20 feet deep. That sit on that plaza. They've got TVs all around them. It's going to be a really cool game day experience. Not to mention, you're going to have the mega ribbon right behind you.
Okay.
That's at extremely high resolution.
All right. So, couple of months before 3 months, I guess, before the season kicks off, the Tigers will start on the road, and then the opener will be Labor Day weekend against Arkansas State. And right now, barring any unforeseen reasons that would slow down the construction, you guys are extremely confident that this thing will be absolutely done.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. On time and on budget, as Dr. Scott likes to hear.
Well, it looks great, and it's not even finished. So I can't even imagine when I take a look at it when it's finished, a finished project, how awesome it'll look, and all the enhancements that have been made around the stadium. Congratulations on all the hard work you guys do and the great job that you're doing. And, Austin, we appreciate your time. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Austin. Austin White, again, he is the project executive for MFA Program Management. They are overseeing Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and the renovations. But as he said, there's an army of people that are involved, not just with his company, but with many companies that are involved in whatever they're doing at that stadium. But again, it's going to be, I think, a game changer for people. Now, after a while, you get used to anything, and the product better be good. But I think for the most part, if people can afford to be there, and they may not be able to afford to get a suite, but if they're able to get into the stadium, no matter where they are sitting on either side, you're going to experience the enhancements that we have not had in all those years. We've always talked about the bowl, Liberty Bowl, right now, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, always having the great viewing, sight lines from anywhere in the stadium. And that's true. But the audio was never good. The scoreboards were better, certainly, when they went with the bigger scoreboard, but I didn't think they utilized that scoreboard well enough. This is going to be out of this world to have. And I'm not going to get into the details about these scoreboards, but learning exactly about the resolutions and all the stuff that go into these scoreboards, it would blow your mind how good these pictures, how clear these pictures will be. And you'll be able to see all kinds of highlights from other games. And then those ribbons will give you updated scores. It won't be a score from Thursday and then 0-0 from a game that just ended 6 hours ago, which was always the case, right? I'm like, why don't they update these scores? I mean, that will be a big part of it too, because people will go there. They want to know what else is happening in college football because they can easily just stay at home. And right now the sales are going well. As Dr. Scott said, and I said yesterday on the show, 74% of all the seats on that west side have been sold. That includes suites. But there's still a ways to go, and they are trying to do everything they can for those who don't have that kind of money to enjoy and experience Tigers football. $7 meals again. They're putting all together, all that food and beverage stuff. They're still working on that. They haven't completed that, but that's something that they are really trying to get done to be able to make it affordable for people to come and watch the Tigers. We'll take a timeout. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with the perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948. The Rendezvous.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
That's me in the corner. Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports tweeting out this morning that in the Protect College Sports Act, the revised edition, which was revealed to the parties that needed to see that. And then some media got their hands on copies of it, so they know exactly what's in it. But in that revised act, Ross Dellinger reports there's an ambiguous section where NIL deals with associate entities may count against the rev share cap. He says, while closing a loophole, this may limit athlete pay by hundreds of millions of dollars. So here is a letter that Dellinger has tweeted out, sent to lawmakers, again, who will be eventually voting on this act. Highlighted in the story below, Michigan State football player Sam Edwards leading the charge with 18 other athlete signatures. And it highlights the associated entities issue, which he believes will limit the athletes' pay by millions. The letter, and I haven't had a chance to read the whole darn thing, but the reaction from the student is fantastic. Says he and the rest are grateful for the leadership and the concern in stabilizing and securing the future of college sports. This is a student athlete doing this, but then points out this one section in the bill that would limit. And the one thing, there's a lot of problems, but limiting what they can make, to me, is stupid. Because the whole point of going into a world of NIL, and now, of course, rev share with the universities, is to allow these athletes to make money. Name, image, likeness. But why should there be any kind of cap on what they can make? As long as it's within the rules, why should John H. have to make or be limited to the same amount that Sam B. makes? That's stupid. So, again, we weren't privy to this information as far as being able to see everything that's in there. But this is something, again, that's pretty serious, especially if athletes signing off on it.
Today is the markup phase of the bill. So there will be changes made and things done today, and we'll see what ends up being coming out of today and what move or what changes they do make. And then I don't know what the next step is of when they might have the vote in the committee to see if it gets passed along to the Senate and what form it does, all of that stuff. But today is the markup phase of the bill.
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree if you limit or try to limit the athletes, they're not going to accept that. Now you have...
Well, there's a bunch of politicians that will not accept that. That's part of the issue.
Right. And those politicians are representing certain jurisdictions, their constituents. They want to make sure they're doing the right thing for them. And that includes where universities are located. And these athletes play for those universities.
The whole associated entities thing is a big deal, big part of it, because that's, they just had the suit with the Nebraska players that they ruled that the Learfields of that are associated entities. So that's a different, that's something that has to continue to be decided about those types of deals with the media rights holders and some of these others, and whether that is, as they're doing there, is it rev share or is that NIL? And that's a big question that has to be answered and settled amongst all of these things. The U.S. Open will resume in 10 minutes, 8:05 Central Time, is the scheduled resumption of the first round at Shinnecock, as the fog has cleared enough for them to get back out there and play. So they're going to get back underway here in about 10 minutes from now. By the way, if you are looking for TV coverage today it's pretty much all day on USA. USA has the coverage today up until 4:00 this afternoon. Then it'll be on Peacock and NBC Sports Network. Tomorrow it'll be NBC Sports Network and Peacock during the morning, and it will go on to regular NBC for the afternoon tomorrow. And then, of course, NBC will have the coverage all weekend long on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, speaking of the U.S. Open, Shinnecock Hills on Long Island, we will be heading there when we come back for hour number 2. We'll open up with our friend Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC to get the latest. Kerry Miller at 8:25 will join us from Bleacher Report to talk some Major League Baseball. We have obviously a lot of NBA to get into, the latest with free agency, and also the speculation continues as the NBA draft. Round 1 is Tuesday. Round 2 is Wednesday. So we are less than a week away, and certainly getting excited about that. We're also excited about what's happening down at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. June is all about baseball, hot dogs, apple pies, and how about a new All-Star Chevy? Staycation or vacation begins in Olive Branch. How low can your payment go? Come to All-Star, see what 0% financing for 5 years on all these new Silverados will do for you. Why? Your good credit deserves it. That's why. That's why you get those types of deals. Military, first responders, you get an extra $500 bonus. All-Star Chevy is pre-owned makes and models for any budget, priced in the 10s, 15s, or 20s. Or go big with the Tahoe, a Traverse with that third row seat. How about a Corvette Stingray? Pre-owned Silverados available as well. For all your commercial and fleet needs, All-Star Chevy is the top-rated business elite dealer. Express cargo and express passenger vans are here as well. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Get the most money for it today. So together, let's drive. Don't miss the best sale of summer event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet and online at allstarautogroup.com. Steve Sands from the U.S. Open is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Hello, I'm Ford Canale of Canale Funeral Directors. For more than a century, the Canale family has been honored to serve Memphis families during life's most difficult moments. In fact, Canale Funeral Directors is proud to be the oldest continually operating business in Memphis, built on a tradition of compassion, dignity, and personal service. When a family places their trust in us, we understand it's about much more than arrangements. It's about celebrating a life, honoring cherished memories, and providing comfort when it's needed most. Whether you're planning ahead or facing an immediate need, our experienced and caring staff is here to guide you every step of the way. From our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve generations of Memphis families with the respect and attention they deserve. Canale Funeral Directors, quietly caring since 1843.
Marty McNate's on vacation, but passed along some exciting deals at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's Volkswagen Driver Days event. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S. Just $249 a month, $249 a month for Jetta S. Luxury just got a new definition in 2026 Tiguan 2.0 TS. Now $269 a month. Brand new Tiguan S, $269 a month. Plus 2026 Atlas SE, only $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. Marty McNate will be waiting for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com, and remember, your future's what you make it. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/30/26 dealer stock only.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still a little bit heavy up through the Midtown area. Pretty much on schedule. Actually, northbound 240 here at Lamar. It's heavier than it was 15, 20 minutes ago around the 101 connector, where they're still working over here throughout the day. You never know what you're going to get for the last couple of weeks over here around Warford and Hollywood. Again, be careful. I-40 in both directions. Hey, be sure to check out the animals that are available for adoption at the Humane Society of Memphis Shelby County. Check out their website, memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:03 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Thursday, June 18th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you, broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 77 with a feel like of 87. We're going to get a little sun. We're going to get some rain. It is in the forecast. Thunderstorms possible at times. Tomorrow, the same type of deal. Sunshine with the chance of some precipitation. Although, for the most part, sunny. Saturday looks real nice. Sunday looks to be cloudy with about a 55% chance of precipitation. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. They're open Saturday, 10 to 4, closed on Sunday. They're your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Online at GaddisJewelers.com for all your wedding needs. But for any occasion, jewelry always makes the perfect gift that lasts forever. And you can find all types of great deals. Huge selection at James Gaddis Jewelers. Gifts from $100 to thousands of dollars at James Gaddis Jewelers. They've been around serving Memphians and Mid-Southerners for 60 years and going strong. Speaking of going strong, he hasn't been around golf for 60 years, but he's getting up there in age. He is our good buddy Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC, who joins us from Shinnecock Hills. How are you, Steve-O?
Fantastic, Greg. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Are you 60 yet?
No, 57.
57. Okay, so you still got a ways to go. But you've been now with the Golf Channel on NBC how many years?
I got hired at the end of 2000, and my first day on the job was 01/01/01.
Wow, so
makes it very easy to remember.
You have been there a while. All right, you've seen many golf tournaments. You've covered the Open on the British Isles, where the weather is usually not real nice for the golfers. We are watching the big screen here in the studio, and we see that they're just about ready to resume play after the fog, but the winds are howling, and I'm hearing just treacherous stories about how high these scores may be. What do you see out there with the conditions? I know you like to walk the course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm standing right outside the booth. You guys are Central Time, right? So I go in the booth starting at 9 a.m. your time. Got out here this morning at 5 a.m. The horn just blew, so they're about to resume play. The horn in the good side, not the bad side.
Yes.
When we got out here this morning at 5 a.m. your time, I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't foggy at all, and the wind was picking up a little bit, and they did not think that there was going to be fog rolling in. And the fog rolled in, and it just sat there. So now this front is coming through, and it's much clearer now than it was about 45 minutes ago. So they'll be able to play, but later today, if the wind picks up the way they're forecasting it to, they might have to halt play again because the golf ball won't be able to stay at rest on these greens. They've slowed these greens down quite a bit. They've slowed the golf course down quite a bit, knowing the forecast was here. But, you know, you're still going to see some really high scores in these windy conditions later today. It's not going to be a bloodbath or anything, but there are going to be some really high scores. But I think also before the wind picks up, there's going to be some pretty decent scores from some great players because the greens are soft, because the fairways are so wide, because of the way the forecast was this week.
Is the wind expected to blow throughout the weekend too, or what's kind of the forecast? And is there any rain in the forecast? What's the forecast for the weekend?
We were in a lot of meetings yesterday, Eli, about the weather because the USGA is so worried about losing this golf course. Remember in 2018 when Brooks Koepka won, and 2004 when Retief Goosen won, the last two times the U.S. Opens were played here at Shinnecock Hills, they lost the golf course, and they are not going to do that this week, or they're going to try their best. So they've slowed it down quite a bit, Eli, and I think that when the wind is forecast to be, there's a rule in golf, an unwritten rule, that if it gets to 35 miles per hour, Eli, that you can't play in that. Well, that's not necessarily true. It just depends on, the topography of the golf course and, where and when these greens are sloped and where the hole locations are, that kind of thing. But the wind is supposed to pick up here throughout the morning, and then this afternoon it's really supposed to hum. If it does get to gusts of 35 or 40 miles per hour, the way it's forecasted to, if it actually comes true, they're going to have to stop play again. There's no way they can play in those conditions.
With that said, Steve, and I know with the U.S. Open, they want the toughest test for the best golfers in the world, and they make sure the course is set up to be tough. But if you have concerns about the wind, the fog, everything that happens at Shinnecock, why do they keep coming back?
Well, Shinnecock Hills is one of the 5 founding members in the USGA in America.
Okay.
It's the home and start of where women's golf first began. There's a long storied history. This is the only venue in America. This is the 126th U.S. Open. It's the only venue in America that has hosted a U.S. Open in 3 centuries. The first time it was here was 1896, and now they've had it in the 2000s, and now they've had it in this century as well, and the 1900s, and now this century as well. And it's just a famous golf course. It's probably the best championship test of any of them, but it's an outdoor game, Greg, and you're succumb to the whatever Mother Nature has to offer. And all the way out here on the eastern tip of Long Island, you're going to have wind out here. you're going to have some fog, and you're going to have some storms as well. So hopefully the storms stay away. But the weather, by the way, is not supposed to be great on Saturday either as far as wind. They're worried about the wind today and the wind on Saturday. Friday and Sunday, they're not as worried as much as they are about Thursday and Saturday.
You mentioned and I was talking about this the other day, but the fairways are much wider than what they've had in the past. There, like being out there, like is it like noticeable? Like, do they look a lot wider? Like how much wider are we talking?
They're 6 yards wider. That's a lot. You know, at golf at the highest level. You know, the PGA Tour golf, you never see fairways 48 yards wide. You know, never. They were 42 yards wide in 2018. They widened them 6 yards for this week's U.S. Open, and it's noticeable to the three of us and the audience that we're talking to right now. It wouldn't be noticeable at all because we're just a bunch of hackers. Yeah. But the pros, the best players in the world, the guys who are trying to win this U.S. Open, for sure they noticed it. They've noticed a few things here, Eli. They told me the last couple of days, you know, the fairways are wide and they're generous, but when it's windy like this, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to hit those fairways. And also, the greens are really, really difficult here. And in these windy conditions, you know, and the pressure that builds at a U.S. Open, you know, those fairways, they shrink more than you think in your mind versus the way they actually look aesthetically.
Were you at the meeting yesterday? I wrote this down that was reported that the USGA told the media to expect, meaning today, so this was yesterday, that it will play like the final round of the 92 U.S. Open at Pebble, where the average score was 77.3. Were you privy to that information?
Yeah, I was, but I mean, it's just so hard to tell. First of all, the game's a lot different than it was in 1992. The conditions are different. You don't know if it's going to be steady winds or gusty winds. And like I said earlier, some of these great players who go out this morning, now the 2-hour delay hurts this theory, but some of the players who go out this morning before the wind really, really starts pumping, you know, these are soft greens. Every player I've spoken to is like, wow, these are the softest greens I've ever seen at a U.S. Open. Normally, for those who aren't familiar with golf, but there's something called a stimp meter. For those who aren't familiar, sorry to repeat myself, but a stimp meter measures the speed of the greens. And normally at a U.S. Open, you know, they're like 13, 14, 14 and a half. Here they're 10, 10 and a half because of the windy conditions. So they're soft. Well, as I've said to you guys before, when you give the best players in the world softer greens, they're going to attack these hole locations. So you're going to see balls spinning here more than you normally would, as opposed to bounding over when you're hitting a green at a U.S. Open. They just bound over the green because they're so rock hard. Here, they're not rock hard. So if the wind does not pick up, although it's very windy right now, if the wind does not pick up, I still think you're going to see some really low scores.
Of course, and I saw, I think it was Harry Higgs earlier that spun one back and then it rolls like 40 yards back down the fairway towards him.
That's what happens, Eli, when you have soft greens. The best for us, again, the difference is the same game we play, but it's a different sport. For us, it wouldn't happen like that because we don't put spin on the ball like that. These guys, when they get soft greens, you're going to hear us say this all afternoon. You have to be able to control your golf ball because if you're spinning it too much, it's going to do what Harry Higgs did earlier today and it's going to spin right off the front edge.
What's the temperature? How cold is it? I say they're all in long sleeves. Like, how cold is it?
It's a little cool. I mean, it's not. I mean, I wear a suit and tie for the show, but right now I'm in a sweat jacket and a shirt and tie, standing outside, right outside the booth. You know, overlooking the play right now here on the 9th hole, on the first hole, and you know, I would say, I don't know, 58, 59, 60. It's not cold by any means. It's just windy, and the fog was here this morning, and it's kind of soupy. It's kind of humid. It's going to be a little drier the next 3 days, but right now it's okay. The wind, the flags, I'm standing right here beside the first and second hole, and the flags, the U.S. Open flags, the red, white, and blue flags, they're just whipping right now. And this is just the beginning of what the wind is supposed to be like later today.
When it's all said and done, you expect the winner to be in red numbers?
I think the winner will be under par. The over-under is -1.5 this week as far as the winning score. I think they're going to be better than that because, like I said, they're going to get probably 2.5 days of of soft greens, wide fairways, and not crazy wind.
Mm-hmm.
But the day and a half, that you do get the crazy wind will drive the scores up a little higher. But I think the winning score will be in the red this week. Only 3 players have ever finished under par in the history of Shinnecock.
That's crazy.
Dating all the 3 players. 3 players. I think the winning score will be under par this week. But again, depending on what happens today and Saturday with the wind, that could change.
The fairways are wider. I know I've seen some stuff with the rough. Is the rough what it's been in the past at Shinnecock, or is it worse because they've widened the fairways? They say if you miss these, we're going to penalize you a little bit more.
Yeah, it's worse. They're going to penalize you a little bit more. They go right from the fairway. There's no intermediate cut. They go from the fairway to the primary rough, and then there's the fescue. Now you have to hit it pretty far off target, for these guys at this level to get it into that fescue. But it'll definitely be in play throughout the course of the week for sure.
Gosh, what I'm watching right here, it's just treacherous what I'm watching here. I don't know who in their right mind, unless they were scratch golfers, would want to be a member at this club. Because, again, this course is so damn hard. I wonder, do you know what the course record is? Score?
Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood shot 63 here in the final round on Sunday in 2018.
Jeez.
That still amazes me.
That's the course record. Now, again, that day in particular was not windy. And Tommy played great. By the way, Tommy could have shot 50, 59, 60, 61. He missed, I think, 3 or 4 putts on the back 9 that were makeable, and he still shot 63.
Oh, my gosh.
63 at this golf course is outrageous.
All right, so let's get to some of the guys you like.
Well, it depends on the weather. The 2-hour delay is messing up my picks. I like Patrick Reed this week, John Rahm this week, Matt Fitzpatrick this week, Colin Morikawa this week, Russell Henley, Tommy Fleetwood. I like those guys, but if I had to pick, a trifecta, if you will, since we just finished the Triple Crown, which is tragic that they don't make that. They don't fix the schedule, and they don't have these horses running the Preakness.
To make it mandatory. Make it mandatory.
Well, they just fixed the schedule. Just move it back a week or two.
But even so, one of the horses owners that won like the Derby
drives me crazy.
I know they'll say, well, we don't know the run. They have to. Well, I've already gone on my soapbox. They got to commit. They got to commit to all 3 races. But anyway,
I agree. It just drives me crazy. It would really help the sport. But anyway,
trifecta.
Back to golf. The trifecta here. I would take Patrick Reed. I'll try box it. All right. I'll take Patrick Reed, John Rahm, and Matt Fitzpatrick would be my 3.
So, and I like Fitzpatrick a
lot.
So do I.
I think Fitzpatrick's going to win.
Tough guys who are ball strikers who have to get this ball piercing through this wind. You've got to hit it on the screws here this week, and I think those 3 guys are as good as it gets.
Why not Scheffler?
For no reason, Eli. I mean, look, he's leading 2 stats that are really, really great for U.S. Open. One is birdie average per round. He has the highest birdie average per round on the PGA Tour, and he has the best bogey avoidance statistic on the PGA Tour. So those 2 are great, but he's not playing great golf. Seems a little frustrated with his golf, but there is no reason at all that Scotty doesn't win this week, other than the fact that he's a 2-time father. Sunday is Father's Day. He's going to turn 30 years of age on Sunday. And if you're into things like this, and I'm kind of superstitious, maybe a little bit too much, no one in the history of golf has ever won a major championship on his birthday. And Sunday is Scotty's 30th birthday. It's Father's Day, and he would win the career Grand Slam here at Shinnecock Hills.
What a day that would be.
Oh, my God, it'd be incredible. I just don't think it's going to happen. But for no reason, Eli. It's literally a contrarian bet. That's what it is.
With Rory, obviously wider fairways. We know what he does driving the ball and giving him more room to hit those fairways. What do you think of his chances on this course?
Now, I think Rory should play well here also, except for one thing. I've said this to you guys before, on and off the air probably. Rory is the most American European player of all time. I mean, he's an all-time great player. But the one thing that gets him, for some reason, is the wind. He cannot play great golf when it's windy. He's won almost every single one of his majors, players, FedEx Cups, and every other PGA Tour event and other events around the world when the wind was not howling. So with windy conditions here this week, I would not expect Rory McIlroy to contend. However, he's one of the greatest players of all time, and he's playing some really good golf, even though he hasn't played a lot since winning the Masters. Only had 2 starts. But the wind is a big problem with McIlroy over the years, and unless he gets over that this week, it's not going to happen for him here at Shinnecock.
So do you, with the way you said the forecast for today, is there an advantage, you think, for the guys going off that have the early tee times today?
It would have been a huge advantage, except for now that there's a 2-hour delay, or there has been a 2-hour delay. Those guys who were going, let's say McIlroy, right, at 7:54 a.m. Eastern time, Scotty Scheffler, 8:14 a.m. Eastern time. Now they're going out at 9:54 and 10:14. So instead of getting a couple of hours before the wind really starts to howl, because it's supposed to howl around 11 a.m. Eastern time and beyond, and then really pick up even more in the afternoon, those guys were going to get, Koepka, Ludwig Åberg, Rory, Scotty, those guys were going to get 10, 12, 14 holes in before the wind really picked up. And with the soft golf course, yes, early, late was the preferred tee times, not late, early. But now that there's been a 2-hour fog delay, that's been kind of wiped away. So it might be more even now than we thought it was going to be coming into today.
All right, real quick, 2 last things before we let you get to work. Number one, did you talk to Koepka, or do you have any update on Koepka's hand situation as he had to withdraw after 3 rounds at the Canadian Open last week? And then give me a dark horse pick.
I talked to Brooks yesterday, saw him on the practice putting green in the range. We chatted for a couple of minutes. Then on the first tee, he's doing fine. I mean, he's not 100%, but he's not injured to the point where it will affect him so severely that he can't compete this week. If he doesn't win this week, it's just because he didn't play great enough.
Right.
It's not because of the hand. If I was going to go off the board, I think Kurt Kitayama is the guy to look at. He won at Bay Hill, very tough golf course, great ball striker, plays a low flight ball, which you're going to need in windy conditions like this. If I was going to take someone completely off the board, I would say Kurt Kitayama, who's already a PGA Tour winner, not a well-known name in the sports world, but in the golf space, everybody knows how good of a player he is.
Well, we'll see you soon on the tube anyway. Steve will get to work at 9 o'clock. And then the next time we talk to you, hopefully, as long as we're able to do that, from the Open Championship, which will be at Royal Birkdale Golf Club this year in England. So keep up the good work. Stay, stay in one place. Don't let the wind knock you around. We know how great shape you are, but, man, make sure the wind's not knocking you around. I know you'll be in the booth, so it won't be a problem. But thank you, Steve, as always, man. Have a great weekend.
I appreciate it. It's always 68 and sunny with no wind in the booth, Greg. We'll be okay in there.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.
All right, guys. Take care.
Steve Sands from Shinnecock Hills. Hey, somebody made something. Was that a putt or a chip? That was a putt.
The idea is just looking at it, looking at the flags. If the wind picks up from this, good luck to these guys.
Well, James Nicholas, no relation, because he spells his last name differently, just hit a long putt. He's your leader at 1 under par. So again, if you're betting, you got to take James Nicholas, right? I mean, come on. I know it's early, but you got to take this guy. Now I watched. Here's another good putt. That might go in. It did. It's amazing how they just show the ones that go in. Right now, I don't know, but that wind's howling, and these guys are off and rolling here at Shinnecock Hills, which is on Long Island. I did ask Steve about. I wanted to know how far. I think maybe about 125 miles. Long Island's about 125 miles long, and they're at pretty much the end. So to get back to Manhattan, probably, taking away traffic for a second, it's got to be at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that.
I would think so.
And then many take the Long Island Expressway, I guess. The whatever it's called, the Long Island train to get into Manhattan. But you got obviously the parade going on. So a lot of things happening in New York City or the surrounding area of New York. This, of course, being Shinnecock Hills on Long Island. Coming up next, we talk Major League Baseball with our good buddy Kerry Miller. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
K4TE 349,980, MSRP 24,825, Sorrento DG 453,494, MSRP 34,280, Telluride VG 005,288, MSRP 44,510, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, must minus 2 KFA, excludes tax file and license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 6/30/26.
Hey, I've got him on the line, Jeff Allen over at Gossett Kia South, and it's the summer sticker sales event going on right now. Hey, Jeff, tell us about it.
Listen to this, Randy. I've got a 2026 Kia K4 LXS at $229 a month. 24-month lease, $34.99 due at signing. 2026 Kia Sorrento LX, $297 a month, and a 2027 Kia Telluride S front-wheel drive, only $449 a month. Both 24-month lease, $39.99 due at signing. Plus, you'll find the all-new 2026 EV9, $12,000 off MSRP, or get 0% for 60 months.
And every Gossett Hyundai comes equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
It remains busy with that volume, but it's moving westbound I-40 from Germantown Parkway down past Sycamore View Road. This time of the morning, it likes to get heavy, and that's what's happening over here up through Midtown on 240 northbound at South Parkway, coming up past Lamar. Still some volume there on the 55 bridge coming over from Crittenden County, West Memphis. Hey, bridal season is here. Shop local today and save that money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 8:28 is the time. We've already dived into the College Baseball World Series, the World Cup. We talked U.S. Open with Steve Sands from Shinnecock Hills. We've discussed some college football here on the program, and had Austin White in hour one talking about the renovations to the Liberty Bowl, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. And we're not done with differing sports, because it is time now to do something that we haven't started to do yet today, but we're going to start now. It's time to talk some Major League Baseball with Kerry Miller.
It's time to talk some baseball. Joining Greg and Eli is Kerry Miller from the Bleacher Report. Here's Kerry with Greg and Eli.
Kerry Miller joins us every week. During this time of the year, it's, of course, baseball, as Mr. Announcer Man said. But during the fall and the winter, we talk to Kerry about college basketball. He covers both sports for Bleacher Report. You can follow him on Twitter at Carrance James. He'll have that Unnamed Bracketology podcast during the basketball season. Kerry joins us each and every Thursday right here on the program. How are you, man?
Hey, Greg. I'm doing well. I can't believe it's mid-June, and this is how far into the program we got to go before we're talking baseball. What's going on?
I know, and I'm looking at some of your recent tweets, man. You're tweeting some college football stuff. You're tweeting some college basketball stuff. You, of course, are a big sports fan outside of just basketball and baseball. Are you a soccer fan? Are you into the World Cup?
Not in the slightest.
Sound like Eli.
Yeah. I forget which year it was. I was actually I was covering some poker tournaments in Atlantic City, and I had like the late, like the overnight show. Like I had to get up at like 10 p.m. to go cover the end of them. And it happened to be when the World Cup was going on, and like the timing was perfect that I was able to get like really into the World Cup. And I don't care anymore.
Wow, you were covering poker. First of all, I love poker. Second of all, my hometown is Atlantic City. So you're in my hometown covering poker. Wow.
Yeah, I was at the Borgata for like 17 nights. I think I did it 2 or 3 times. It was it was a different experience for sure.
Did you go over and listen to Paulie D on the turntables? I mean, he's over there a lot. You know, Paulie D from Jersey Shore. I can imagine you, Kerry, right, getting your boogie on inside the discotheque. I mean, gosh, bless it. But Borgata's a great casino, and love the game of poker. We learn something new about Kerry every week, I think.
Are you a golfer? Are you a golfer?
No, I'm a disc golfer, but
oh, really?
I've got lower back issues. If I even go to a driving range for like an hour, I'm on the shelf for like a week.
You'd fit into Major League Baseball, like
where
everybody's injured.
So, being a disc golfer, you're into the frisbee thing, I would assume. Gary?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
Oh, lost you for a second. I said, being a disc golfer, you're into frisbees, right? You were probably throwing frisbees when you were a kid, I imagine.
No, not really.
Really? And the reason I brought that up is because Adam Zagoria comes on the show quite often.
Yeah, I know that.
And that dude is like professional as far as frisbee. But you're
I cannot throw like an ultimate disc, but I can throw a disc golf disc. I don't know why, but
that's very interesting. So I want to ask you this question. With what we've seen from some of these pitchers, especially in the National League this year, if you could take, you're a Nationals fan, so if you could have any pitcher of your choice for the next 5 years for the Nationals, who would you take?
Nobody that's currently on the Nationals roster, that's for sure. I mean, can I take Shohei Ohtani so then I get to hit him every day too?
Well, I mean, I guess.
And
I'm looking more at the pitching side, but I guess
go beyond Shohei. You know,
yeah,
throw him out of the mix.
I'd probably go Skeens. I mean, what Mizorowski's doing is unbelievable, but at the same time, we're like forever fearing that human body should not be throwing 105 miles per hour. Like you giving him to me for 5 years, I'm expecting 19 of those months to be recovering from a Tommy John surgery at some point. So. But I think I'd take Skeens, even though he's kind of fallen to the into the shadows this year as far as the Cy Young conversation is concerned. I don't know where he's actually at in the odds, but I would assume he's not even top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. And it feels like with what Sanchez and Mizorowski and everybody doing, it feels like people still look at Skeens kind of like you would. Yeah, I think most people would still bet on Skeens over a 5-year stretch.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit forgotten about just because of the everybody's obsessed with Skubal now, where he's going to go, whether that's at the deadline or in the off season. We've gotten past the nonsense of what would the Pirates get in return for Skeens. They're not trading him away, certainly not this season. They're going for it right now, but I think just kind of the new faces have kind of gotten a little more attention, and Skeens isn't throwing 105, so he's not as popular right now.
It is pretty amazing what Mizorowski has done and what he just did recently, shutting out my Phillies. But to throw pitches nearly 105 miles per hour, and I know he didn't throw a ton of pitches, but he went the distance, which you don't see a lot in this day and age. I guess they're really – every arm is different. But I guess they're very, very confident that they don't have to worry about some sort of pitch count or limited innings, rather, with Mizorowski. They're just letting him go out there and throw it as hard as he can.
Yeah, I think he's only gone 100 pitches once this season. It was like 101. Like you said, he didn't throw that many pitches in that shutout against the Phillies, and you are correct. It doesn't happen. I think there have only been 6 complete game shutouts all season, whereas like a decade ago we would have had 6 on opening day, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, he's unreal. I do think they're being cautious about not letting him throw more than 100 pitches, but I think that's true of almost everybody in the game today, unfortunately.
So he's been pulled at times when he's got right near the century mark. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's usually right around 95. I'd be curious what they would have done if he had been already at 100 pitches, heading into the 9th inning of that game, because man, that was probably the best individual performance of the entire season.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe of several seasons. 15 strikeouts in one hit is ridiculous.
With Shohei, he's got the knee, and yesterday he battled the blister as well. Mm-hmm. That ERA skyrocketing up to 147.
I think he might be behind Mizorowski's 1.34 and leading the majors. So I guess, or does Ohtani not have enough innings yet?
I don't think he's qualified right now, because I was looking at that, and
I saw somebody, I forget, it may have been Jason Stark or somebody was saying that like out of the last 15 NL Cy Young winners or something, only 3 or 4 of them have pitched fewer than 180 innings. I think that was pretty clearly a question mark about whether or not Ohtani could potentially win it. But yeah, he's still. It is funny. Like he had the blister, he's got the knee. He allowed 4 runs for his ERA to spike to 1, whatever it is, and now we're like, oh, is he okay? Still the runaway favorite for MVP.
It's amazing, because I look like when I'm looking at leaders, like there's guys that are hitting home runs. You've got Schwarber at 25 and Alvarez at 24, and all the guys are hitting home runs and everything else. But then I look at these top earned run averages, and I'm like, we've got guys under 2. We got it's weird. Like the pitching looks great, but then you look at the offense. A lot of these offensive guys are still putting up numbers.
Yeah, I think that's standard for around this time of year. Like if you look back at 2020, now we're 75 games in, not 60, but right, the Cy Young winners for that 60-game season had like a 1.5 ERA. A couple of guys had over 20 home runs. It'll happen in a 60-game sample size. It just so happens to be the first 60 to 75 games. But yeah, that NL Cy Young race, I don't even know. Even just forget the Cy Young. Just who's going to start the All-Star game? That's going to be one heck of a debate for the next whatever we got 4 weeks until that game comes.
By the way, Skeens is actually still 3rd in the odds, but he's it's Mizorowski's minus 165, Sanchez is plus 260, and then you'll go all the way to plus 1,400 for Skeens.
Yeah, and
where's Ohtani?
He's not.
He doesn't qualify?
He is at plus 5,500. So I guess they just assume he's not going to pitch enough to win.
I'm intrigued by that.
What is the minimum amount of innings you have to pitch?
There's no minimum.
Cy Young.
You could win the Cy Young as a closer. So yeah,
then
I think it's just become such a narrative that he only pitches every 6th game. Like he's only going to get 27 or 28 starts instead of 32, and that's kind of taken over since Sanchez is on pace for 250 innings.
But so that's enough. That's enough to put him at plus 5,500.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I thought: is there a restriction? Is there something I'm missing here? But that plus 5,500. That's great odds. I don't think he'll win it right now with what we've seen from, like you said, Mizorowski and some of these other guys. But I think he'd certainly be in the mix for $5,500 is worth to throw. 5,500 plus 5,500 is worth to throw a couple dollars on it, I would think. But all right, we just talked about the home runs. Hunter Goodman, who I think we talked you into him being an all-star last year, and then he ended up being an all-star. Slow start. He's starting to really pick it up now. He had his 21st home run yesterday. The RBI starting to add up because had a lot of solo home runs early. Do you think he's taken over? Because I've seen him in the predictions for the All-Star game as the backup catcher in the National League. Do you see that happening?
Yeah. I don't know who else from the Rockies would go. Like Mickey Moniak got out to a hot start, but he's been out for a month.
Right.
They don't have any other candidates. So he's going to be almost certainly Colorado's representative. And I don't think there's really other great options at NL. I mean, who's even leading it? Like Drake Baldwin, probably.
Yes.
He should probably start, and I think Hunter Goodman should be the backup, but we'll see. I guess Contreras is in that mix too, but usually you have three catchers, so I think there'll be room for him.
I was looking at your article about the most scrutinized players on every team, and your section on Dansby Swanson for the Cubs got me even more depressed. I mean, his numbers against anything other than fastball are, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's embarrassing. That's a Major League Baseball player who's hitting under 100 against anything other than a fastball.
Yeah. I mean, what were the numbers? Like 0.67 against sliders, 0.51 against curveballs, 0.40 against changeups or something.
0.67 against curves, 0.51 against sliders, and 0.40 against changeups.
Yeah.
As a Major League Baseball player who's making a whole bunch of money.
Yes, he is. And he's still got, 2 or 3 years left on that $100 and whatever $1 million deal. But he homered yesterday. I don't know. Was it off a fastball? I didn't even look.
I did not see his home run. I wasn't watching the game in time he hit. I'm going to guess that it was. I don't know why why would you ever throw him a fastball though?
Exactly. Yeah. I think I was looking at his, what made me look into the specific pitches was looking at his Baseball Savant page, and we'll just show you there like a graph of percentage of fastballs, percentage of breaking balls, and percentage of off-speed pitches. And I noticed that the fastball was like just tanked down to like 40%. I mean, everybody's like 60% fastball, but nobody's throwing him fastballs anymore. And now I see why. But yeah, he's been wildly disappointed. But the Cubs are starting to turn it back around. Well, they were 27-12, and then they were minus 15. I don't know what that stretch was, but they've been pretty good lately. And they just need to get some pitching, and they'll be all right.
Yeah, they need to get some pitchers healthy. It'd be nice to get a few because now they lost Palencia. Like they just every time one comes back, another one goes on the disabled list.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate trade. You don't want to be one step forward, two steps backwards with the IL.
So we're closing in on the halfway point of the season, and there's been a lot of key injuries. Yankees have had a bunch, but they continue to play pretty darn good baseball. So right now, having almost 80 games, 70-something games under their belts, and you observing a lot of this stuff, right now, who would you pick? Would it still be Dodgers, Yankees, or you see anybody else that could be their respective league champion?
Yeah, I think the Mariners are coming around, but it's still the Yankees to lose in the American League. Like you said, they've been banged up, but it doesn't seem to matter. Judge has been out for a while. Jazz Chisholm's not hitting anywhere near as well as we thought he would in his walk year. Austin Wells has been a disaster. They've been in a constant state of having at least one key starting pitcher on the IL, but they have the best record in the American League by 3.5 games. And I feel like the Dodgers are kind of approaching that same boat. They just have the Braves and Brewers to contend with, but Betts has been a disaster by his standards. Tommy Edman just made his season debut yesterday. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Edwin Diaz have combined to pitch like 48 innings, and they're thriving. It makes no sense. They should only get better from here, and they're already maybe the best team out there. So, yeah, right now it feels like we're headed for a repeat of 2 years ago with Yankees-Dodgers, and boy, that would be quite the springboard into the salary cap negotiations this offseason.
I was going to say, just more ammunition for the owners, that's for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, the Swanson home run was off a fastball. An 0-1 fastball. Why in the world would you throw him an 0-1 fastball? Like, there's just no reason to throw the guy a fastball ever. Like, that's crazy to me. But, yeah.
They forgot who they were facing.
I mean, whoever
called... Or they remembered they're the Rockies.
Yes, true.
But yeah, that is. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I don't like how some of these hitters, like we've talked, like the Machados and
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Tatis went forever without a home, but the number of big name players who like literally can't hit 200 right now is crazy.
Who was the guy who was the big name they sent down to the minors? Was it Castellanos? They sent him down to the minors.
The Padres?
Yes. Didn't
they DFA'd Castellanos a couple of weeks ago. I don't think they sent anybody down recently.
Okay.
Did they demote Jackson Merrill and I missed it?
No. It's Castellanos. I know he was struggling, and I thought they had done something with him. They had sent him down for assignment or whatever. I don't know what was happening with him, but I was just trying to add on to Eli's list of bigger names that have really struggled so far this year.
So I was looking for that whatever scrutinized player list. I was looking at shortstops age 32 or 33. And like a lot of them, like Trey Turner and Xander Bogaerts, they're still signed for like another 7-8 years, and they are all just terrible. I think there are 9 of them making at least $20 million, and the best OPS among them is Javier Baez at like 687, and he's been on the IL for 2 months. Like all those big name shortstops have been a mess this year. I think that's kind of at the that doesn't even include Bo Bichette, who's now playing third base, or Tatis, who's now out in right field. I guess he usually plays second base these days. But, yeah, a lot of big names not hitting, even though, like you said, we've got quite a few guys who are, up in the 20s in home runs. But, money doesn't go as far as it used to for power hitters.
I had no idea until I was reading that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. only has 3 home runs. Like what?
Yeah. It's been quiet for him.
What is going on with some of these guys? Tatis can't hit home runs. Guerrero can't hit home runs.
Oh, excuse me, I'm taking a drink. At least Vladdy's still batting 280. But it's crazy. Some of these power outages.
Well, you mentioned Bo Bichette. He's starting to hit now. He's like the last.
Yeah, he's batting like 450 his last 15 games. But he started horribly.
Toronto needed a series against the A's in Vegas. Then he could have probably hit 10 home runs just in that series.
Do they play Cash? Is it the old Cashman Field? I'm not even sure if it's still called that. The AAA affiliate. Is that what they're playing?
They were playing AAA. It was not a a preview of where they will be playing.
Right.
So, but that was what a launching pad that week was in Las Vegas. Holy cow! That was like when they play those games in Mexico City, and it's like 9 home runs per side.
Well, that's the weird thing. It's not like they're playing altitude. This isn't Colorado. This is the opposite. They're playing in the desert. They're playing at a AAA ballpark. And I haven't heard in the past that, Cashman Field, that's the launching pad where everybody goes. But they just absolutely were destroying balls in that series. And every time they play there, and they're going to play again, I assume, some series next year, that until that ballpark is built, you're going to have those high-scoring games. Did you see the story the other night about the kid here in Memphis, Baez, who hit 4 home runs 2 nights ago?
Did he? Man, I've been saying for forever they need to call him up. When they sent down Victor Scott and didn't call up Baez, I don't know what the heck they're waiting for.
They called up Blaze Jordan.
He had 4 home runs the other day.
Yeah,
he had 20 for the season.
He's 23 now for the season. He had 4 home runs the other night. They sent down Scott and they sent down Gorman. And I don't know if Gorman's even reported, but Blaze Jordan was called up. Friend of the show, Blaze Jordan's from the Memphis area, the former Red Sox, and he Red Sox prospect, and he's been doing extremely well. But you're right. I mean, Baez, come on, make room for the guy. 4 home runs in 1 game is unbelievable. All right, I want to end this thing by giving you a chance to answer a trivia question that Eli had brought up earlier in the week. The other night, Pete Crow Armstrong hit for the cycle. As you know, they got picked off first base, but still hit for the cycle. There are 2 active players in Major League Baseball who hit for the cycle 3 or more times. Who are they?
Oh, my God. I have no idea. I know Luis Arias did it once. That's about the extent of my cycle knowledge.
One of them, you could possibly. I would think you have a better chance of knowing than the other.
Well, I'll say this. I guessed. I didn't think about it a long time. I guessed, and I got 1 out of 2, so I got the 1 right. You have mentioned one of the 2 during this segment. The name has been brought up during the segment. I don't know if that's going to help you.
Is it Machado?
No. Let's put the time on the clock here for Kerry Miller.
I can't even think of who hits for triples. Did Corbin Carroll do it at all yet, let alone 3 times?
No.
The one that I thought you might know would be a former national. That would be Trey Turner.
Yeah. Trey Turner.
Really? He got 3 cycles?
Yes.
Wow.
The other one, also in the National League, in the National League Central. I'll eliminate the Pirates and the Reds.
You're making me look so bad here.
So you have choice of Cardinals, Cubs, or Brewers.
Alex Bregman?
No. One more guess.
Hit for triples.
One more guess, and that's it.
Cardinals, Cubs, or Brewers? Christian Yelich.
Yay!
Hey.
That's the one I had gotten right. He is Kerry Miller. He writes for Bleacher Report covering Major League Baseball and college basketball. He's the co-host of the Unnamed Bracketology podcast. I can't speak this morning. You can follow him on Twitter at Carrance James. He's with us every week talking baseball or college basketball, depending on the season, right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Thank you, Kerry. Have a great weekend.
You got it. Take care, guys.
Talk to you next week.
That's a tough question to just know.
It's a good question. It was a fun question.
Very, very hard to just know that off the top of your head. You got to be pretty deep in the weeds to know that thing.
Well, when you add, again, I didn't look up, I didn't do any research and all that. I don't know why Yelich popped in my head. The first guess was Mike Trout, and it wasn't Trout. I wonder if Trout's even hit for the cycle. I assume he had to. In his day, he's still hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but he had some pretty good legs, man. He gets stolen bases and all that, so I figure he's got to have at least one cycle. But yeah, Yelich, I don't know why I came up.
And again, for people that don't, Yelich holds the rare feat of all 3 of his have come against the same team, against the Cincinnati Reds.
That's nuts.
Which is, and 2 of them happened like 10 days apart. Against the Reds. Mike Trout does have 1, by the way.
He has 1, okay.
That's it for the cycle 1 time. Folks, if you're moving, got a move coming up, you need to get to the professionals, the experts from Black Tie Moving to take care of that for you. Give them a call, 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Talk to the experts. They'll work with you to come up with a plan for your move, fitting your needs, fitting your budget, and they'll give you no obligation quote up front as well. Don't try and do it yourself. Get the professionals from Black Tie Moving.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Huey's has been serving the Memphis community since 1970. In this local, family-owned restaurant, you'll find a casual setting and laid-back atmosphere, where entertainment includes writing on graffiti walls and listening to live music every Sunday. Huey's has been voted best burger in Memphis every year since 1984, and most kid-friendly for more than 30 years. With 10 locations across Memphis and North Mississippi, there's sure to be a Huey's close by. Huey's Restaurants, blues, brews, and burgers for over 55 years.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and I may be Mr. Three-Putt and known as the worst golfer in town, but I do sell some houses for people. There are 7 keys to selling your home quickly for a really good price. First, call or email me to find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program that can help you sell your home quickly at a good price. I guide people what to do and what not to do to prepare to beat your competition. I mentioned 7 keys. Well, if you call me first, you don't need the other 6. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Sheldon. I may be the horrible golfer that people talk about, but I don't fool around when it involves your biggest investment. I'm here to provide answers and good advice to help you. You can reach me at 483-0546 or email me at shellrose@memphisrelocate.com. That's right, relocate is in my name. That's shellrose@memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So you would think that Sorsby now going to the supplemental draft, things would kind of calm down a little bit, but there's always a story. I don't know how long it will continue, but it did continue yesterday. Brandon Sorsby's agent comes out claiming the University of Cincinnati knew of his gambling issues and did nothing about it. A rep for Cincinnati has denied the claim. Now, subsequently, and I heard this coming in on national radio, that there's an alert that schools get through this system that they use. I don't know how many systems there are, how many they use, but there's one system where Cincinnati was alerted 6 different times with 6 different athletes. And one time it was Sorsby, but whatever it was, they checked it out and found that there was no issues. And then he continued on. But it was just that one time, according to whoever reported that. Again, I heard it on the national radio show coming in.
Cincinnati, there was one time, and they asked him about, they got an alert that he was using the Prize Picks fantasy site. They questioned him, and he
said he couldn't get on it, right?
He was told that he was denied access and had not placed any wagers. That's from the court documents from the original case that was in there. So again, I just don't know why Sorsby and his people continue to want to bring other entity. Your guy placed the bets. He's not eligible because of that. Move along with your life. Who cares at this point? Why bring up Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they want to put the focus everywhere but on the fact that he's the one that did all of this.
Yeah, I don't know. Is the agent concerned that Sorsby may not go as high as they hope in the supplemental draft? So he's kind of throwing it out there like, hey, man, they're enabling him. They knew it. And they did nothing about it. It's not my poor client's fault. It's their fault. It's Cincinnati's fault. I could see why the agent is throwing that out there. But, okay, let's just say for a second it was true. Cincinnati enables Sorsby to continue to play, to help the team with all the gambling, and they know about it. Again, that's assuming they did know about it. Then he leaves, jumps in the portal, big payday to go to Texas Tech. They know what's going on as well. They are then put in a situation where he's ineligible, ruled ineligible, then fights it. Again, he decided to fight it, but I can guarantee it was with the backing of Texas Tech. So you're getting all these schools, like, they're making out Brendan Sorsby to be, like, better than Tom Brady. Like, he's the most important guy who's ever played college sports.
His lawyers are doing what lawyers do.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I don't know if it makes a difference when it comes to the mindset of an NFL team. As we talked about yesterday, NFL teams, how desperate are they? Here's a guy who has the tools. People like him. I mean, people in the know that know quarterbacks and evaluate quarterbacks, they like him. But if you're giving up a second round, even a first rounder, right? Obviously, you're giving up an awful lot to get that guy if he ends up being, 1, a bust, maybe not as good as people think, but 2, he continues on with his gambling. That it is truly an addiction, which he's been treated for, and they end up having a bust of a transaction, of picking him up. They end up not having the quarterback of the future. They have a guy who's a problem child. I'm not saying that will happen. Hopefully he cleans up his act. But it is a gamble. It is a big challenge and I use that word gamble on purpose. It's a big gamble to take a guy who has that kind of background. So again, the agent throwing it out there, it's like, hey man, it's everybody's fault but Brendan Sorsby's. And it was Cincinnati's fault, and they knew it. And Cincinnati, again, is denying that they did. All right, when we come back, we'll open up hour 3, talking NBA, the draft, other news from the association. And then at 9:30, we'll talk with Carly Lyons, the Director of Promotions and Regional Marketing for the Grizzlies. We'll give you an update on the U.S. Open as well, as they are back to playing after a long delay because of fog at Shinnecock Hills on Long Island. You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to download our Hub 901 app for instant access to Sports 56 and all the Flynn Broadcasting stations from anywhere. Go to the App Store and get the Hub 901 app today.
Is the way to go. Call 68370.
This is Parker Trotz with NST Injury Attorneys. After a car accident, money is on the line, and that's why one call can change everything. For over 35 years, we've gone toe-to-toe with insurance companies and won billions for our clients.
NST is the way to go. Call 68370. They've got the fight, they've got the heart.
NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or visit nstlaw.com.
You know that feeling when something is supposed to be complicated and then it's not? That's the Dobbs Brothers way. For your new Chevrolet, there's no games, no runaround, no surprises. Just straight answers from people who actually mean them. Buying a car shouldn't feel like a battle. And at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it doesn't. Trust, transparency, and driving our community forward. That's the Dobbs Brothers way. Shop Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett today.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Trained to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels, along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic volume increasing right. We pretty much what they expect inbound on Sam Cooper right when you come off the interstate. It's heavier than it was 15-20 minutes ago over here, but it's moving 240 around Walnut Grove. They're around Poplar as well. It's still a lot of volume coming down 385 Billmore Parkway right now, getting onto 240 there at Mount Moriah. Hey, be sure to check out the animals that are available for adoption at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County, memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. 9:03 the time. Hour 3 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Thursday, June 18th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Jay Ham with you. We're broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure located at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Summer officially begins on Sunday, and they're getting you set for the summer with all types of great deals for your ultimate pool party. It's Family Leisure. Right now, 78 degrees with a feel like already of 89, so a hot, humid day today with variable cloudiness, but showers and thunderstorms are a possibility, and that's the same tonight. And then tomorrow for your Friday, looks to be pretty nice, only about a 25% chance of precip with the high temperature at 86. For Saturday, sunshine for the most part, looks good. Sunday, cloudy, about a 55% chance of precipitation. Coming up at 9:30, Carly Lyons will join us from the Memphis Grizzlies. Speaking of the Grizzlies, we get you set for the NBA draft on Tuesday and Wednesday with the latest, and of course, a bunch of speculation out there, Eli, that continues to fly around. I'm just tired of talking about it. I still think that it's a possibility that the Grizzlies, who will undoubtedly stay at 3, land Darren Peterson, but Cameron Boozer still the odds-on favorite to be number 3. I know some people online that cover the NBA have changed their mocks and have put Peterson in there, and they say that Utah really would love to get Cam Boozer, but then there's others that say that's not going to happen. It's going to be Peterson. So, again, all we're doing is dealing right now with speculation. There was somebody that came out yesterday and said, let me find this here, so I had to react to it. Let's see. All right, it was some site called Sleeper Hoops, but Brett Siegel, NBA, was the one reporting it. Said the Grizzlies do not have a preference of which prospect falls to them with the number 3 pick, Darren Peterson or Cameron Boozer. Again, they may or may not have a preference. The point I made with this person was, you don't know. You have no idea. Nobody has an idea what the Grizzlies are going to do. They are as tight-lipped a ship as any organization in all of sports.
They shouldn't care which one of those falls to them.
They shouldn't, but that person doesn't know one way or the other.
I have no idea. But again, I mean, a lot of this stuff, I mean, you have to remember, like, this time, right before the draft, there is a lot of smoke screen stuff that goes on that teams want other teams to think they want somebody else or whatever to try and maybe motivate them to make a move or give you something to try and secure that player. So, trying to figure out what is actually true and what's not true in the week leading up to the draft is a useless task.
Yes, smoke screens have always been around, but with the advent of social media, I mean, come on, it's out of control. It's nuts. Believe what you want to believe. A lot of people, they see different stories, and if it's one that compares to their thoughts, that's the one they jump on, right? That's the one they retweet. That's the one they want people to read. Look, they're going to keep Ja Morant, that kind of thing. But you got to take it with a grain of salt because we don't know. We don't know what's going on with Zach Kleiman. We don't know. Tayshaun Prince and those guys, they're not opening up and talking. Maybe they're talking inside the walls to each other, and maybe it's leaked out to some family members. I don't know. But I would think that those guys keep their work inside that building because I've never seen anything like it. In this day and age where everything seems to leak, nothing leaks with the Grizzlies. Nothing. Not even who they work out, who's come to visit, none of that. And you know what? It's not great for media, but for them, more power to them. Because in this day and age, like I said, it is hard to keep anything quiet. The Green Room has expanded by 4. The NBA Green Room, meaning the NBA Draft Green Room with the players who are expected to go early. The additions yesterday of Isaiah Evans, Alan Graves, Dalen Swain, and Abuka Okori, who's out of Stanford, represented by Mike Miller, friend of the show, and his agency. So those guys go in. Probably changes my thoughts yesterday when I asked you guys who you think the last person standing or sitting would be in the Green Room. I'm not so sure. I know we had some others on the program. Was it DeMichael Cole who was raving about Alan Graves? Somebody was raving about Alan Graves.
Chip Williams likes him a lot.
Chip Williams, okay. I got to be honest with you. I don't know Dalen Swain's game that much. I know Graves, Evans, Okori, the point guard out of Stanford. But, I mean, obviously, when these guys are now invited, they don't want somebody who's going to be sitting around. The day goes, remember, it's 2 days now. The day ends and they haven't been picked. It's a possibility, certainly. And we've seen it in football. My gosh, we've seen it in football. So you want to make sure that you have some intel on who you invite. So they're getting good, positive feedback, I would imagine, from NBA teams who are not going to give the association, they're not going to tip their hand, but they're going to tell them, yeah, he could very well be a pick. He very well could go early. But that's now 24 players.
This is a significant development on the Protect College Sports Act as it applies to possibly the University of Memphis. Ross Dellinger says the whole markup thing has begun. The anti-expansion provision for the conferences, which previously had only targeted the SEC and the Big Ten because it was only applying to leagues who had $1 billion in revenue. Well, that has been changed and lowered to $700 million in revenue. That means that would apply now to the ACC and the Big 12 as well. So if it stayed at that and this thing was passed, that freezes the membership of all 4 power conferences. They cannot add teams.
That's ridiculous. See, that to me brings more schools and their districts, cities where they're located, and their Congress people, the people that they need to make their voice known in Washington, D.C., that's more people that will not want this passed because it will affect them, especially Memphis. Again, I don't know who's involved. Cohen's still in office, right? Isn't he getting ready to retire? Like, are these, and Cohen's always been a big Tigers guy. If it affects the Tigers, you ain't getting that vote. But if it affects whoever is representing South Florida in Tampa and that jurisdiction, you're not going to get that vote. If whoever that person is, that's the representative. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's sad. That's one of the things that it will somewhat, I don't know how much, but it will satisfy the Big Ten and the SEC because now they're not being targeted. They're not being told they can't do something that everybody else can do.
That is true, but I don't know if it's enough because, again, I don't know all the things that they wanted tweaked inside that bill. Maybe I'm certain some of those things have been addressed, but not all of those have been addressed. And the whole, which always confuses me, the negotiation for the financial package, where they're not getting the higher percentage. That, to me, is the most important thing to them. And unless that changes, they're not going to back it.
Yeah, the pooling of the media rights is their biggest issue. But that is a voluntary thing even within the bill. Like, they don't have, it is not that they can say no and not do it, even if this bill is passed. That is a completely voluntary thing. They don't want it in there at all, but it is not forcing the pooling of the media rights. So they could still avoid that. And they don't, this was big because again, they were being targeted, but, again, for University of Memphis, that is a massive, massive deal that they have now made that change. And it now would, all 4 power conferences would qualify. Because again, that freezes their membership. That does not allow them to add teams anymore.
Yeah, and again, I think that's ridiculous. If they want to add a school or 2 to their conference, to be to have them prevent them from doing that, I think it's ridiculous. I know what the thought process is. The breakaway, they take all the good schools, form their own league, which still is possible now, even with the amount of teams that they have. And I know they don't like the hostile takeovers of companies where they bring in, not hostile takeover, but monopolies and things of that nature in the business world, right? They don't want to have monopolies. This wouldn't necessarily be a monopoly, but if you're able to pick and choose the best of the rest, you do damage to those conferences and the, I'm using air quotes here, group of six. But for the Power Four, it might not make a difference. But yes, that's extremely important right there, Eli, because you just had Coach Huff, who went off on the whole getting ready for 2028 when he expects the wheels to start turning again for the change in the media rights packages with most of these conferences, not all of them, around 2030. So you're putting yourself in position. But again, if there's no spot for you, then that position doesn't even matter. I don't like hearing that. Again, I know why they're doing it. I know why they're putting it in, but they're not taking into consideration some of these smaller schools, group of six schools that want to better themselves if possible. Right?
But again, what their whole thing is trying to create a stable atmosphere in college sports. They're not looking at they're like we're trying to stabilize things. And again, it's preventing the Big Ten and the SEC from ultimately just creating their own super league and leaving everybody behind. But again, the original bill, the SEC, the Big Ten don't like that because you are targeting simply them. Now they have, okay, we're not targeting you anymore. We've lowered this number down and it's all four of the conferences. But again, so their effort is to create stability within the whole model.
Yeah, it still doesn't mean that the SEC and the Big Ten are happy, even if the Big 12 and the ACC are included, because they probably don't want to be told that they can't add a team if they'd like to down the road. I understand the whole stability thing, but to me, it doesn't prevent them from all breaking away.
Yes, it does. That's the whole thing.
I thought it was.
And it's creating the Super League. Like, that's the whole thing.
I thought you were talking about adding teams.
It's both. It's all. That's the whole thing.
Well, how is it worded? Do we know the clause in there? Because again, what does it say about basically quitting? You're quitting the NCAA. You're quitting. You're going off on your own. Does it say something about that? How can you prevent that from happening? I can understand where they want to prevent the additional schools into those Power Four conferences, which again affects Memphis greatly. But okay, I get that where they're saying, well, you're strong enough right now. We don't need you going 2020. But where does it say? And I'm not saying it isn't in there, but what prevents them from still just saying it, basically quitting? We're quitting. We're leaving the NCAA. We're going
because this is a law. You're not leaving. This is a law telling you they can't. Like, they're putting a law in place telling them they can't do it.
Yeah, it's not going to pass.
I've said that from the beginning. I don't think they'll ever pass anything in Congress, but it has nothing to do with that. You're just never going to get it to pass.
When you're told certain things that you can't do, you don't take kindly to it. And in this case, there's too many of those you can't do's. Now, they're going to buy into the 5 for 5. They're going to buy into some of the things with NIL and rev share and some of the other things that are in there. They're absolutely going to buy into that because they know they need a roadmap. They know they need certain restrictions in certain areas. But to limit their future in the conferences as far as adding teams, I think it'll be turned down. Manifest destiny. I mean, they're trying to make the conference as good as they can. If they could add, say down the road they wanted to add 2, and it becomes more profitable for them, you are limiting them to the profits that they can make. I'm not saying there are schools that fit that mold, or mold rather, but maybe it's something that I would argue, if I was one of those leagues and I don't like this stipulation in the bill, I'd be like, you're limiting us from adding schools that could benefit us financially. Or maybe they just don't care. They're happy with where they are. But I think it's going to be a hard no, to be honest with you. I'd mentioned earlier about the NBA draft and who was added to the green room. Yesterday, there was news involving Trae Young, who was acquired in the trade from Atlanta by the Washington Wizards and has not stepped. He hasn't played a game, right, with the Wizards, Jam?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he dressed out either.
I don't remember. If he did, it may have been brief, but I'll check.
Okay. According to reports, he plans to decline his $48.97 million player option for 2026-2027. For the layman, that sounds so crazy. You can get $49 million by just saying, yeah, pick up my option. That's not the case with these guys. They're looking long-term, and so he opts out, now is looking for a long-term extension. People are losing their minds like Trae Young is going to leave Washington. No, I still believe from everything I've read that Washington, which can give him the most money, is the odds-on favorite to keep him. It's not a 100% guarantee, but more than likely, because he has said already he's happy to be in Washington and all that. I don't know, he could easily change his mind. But to you and to me, Eli, to have somebody say, hey, we got one more year, your option, you want to work for us for $49 million? Yeah, sign me up. But not with a guy who can make more and can get more years on the deal. But I think he ends up staying in Washington.
Yeah, everybody believes he'll be in Washington. I mean, they will pay him more than anybody else would be able to. They're talking about a $40 million a year type thing over 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's long-term money versus short-term money.
And I actually just got an alert that's saying that the breaking alert saying that he's likely to sign a large 3-year deal to stay with the Wizards.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. That just broke in from a Windhorse.
On the markup on the Protect College Sports Act, here's a joint. You haven't read this, right? The joint statement from the Big Ten and the SEC. From the outset, we identified a set of essential revisions to the PCSA necessary for the long-term sustainability of college athletics. We have worked with both majority and minority staff to advancing those revisions, which focus on better supporting student athletes and stabilizing the college sports environment. We continue to believe revisions are needed to secure our support for the bill. Despite our sustained engagement and good faith efforts, these critical revisions have not been accepted. We are encouraged that several Commerce Committee members share our concerns and support these recommendations. Of course, they are people that work within the jurisdiction of some of those schools and their locations. There's no question that there are those connections. We will continue working with stakeholders to ensure the PCSA delivers meaningful protections for student athletes and lasting stability for college sports. Again, this is a bill that everybody is happy that the Congress has stepped up the way they have. Cantwell and Cruz in this particular instance. They know, they all acknowledge to a person, it seems like, that they need this help. But once again, even though some revisions have been made, they don't feel this is, as I just read, a bill that they can accept. But again, the SEC and the Big Ten aren't voting on it. It's going to be voted on in the Senate and in the House. But again, if your constituents, your university, those powerful people in your area that you represent say we don't need this, they're going to go in, they're going to lobby for it, and they're going to vote no. They're going to lobby for other people to vote no. And then they're going to do the opposite on the other side. Again, they're all in agreement. They got to be able to just figure out where it's beneficial to everybody. And in this case, while they're afraid for this gigantic breakaway of these conferences, it's not beneficial to Memphis. It's not beneficial to South Florida. It's not beneficial to Tulane or to Boise State or to UNLV or to schools that may be able to, if there is that next go-around, jump into a power conference and up the money, the financial rewards that go with being in a power conference with the media rights deals they have. Like I said, they're not bringing you in if you can't add anything to the conference. So it could be a moot point, but you want to have that possibility. And I would think these conferences would want to have the possibility as well. That nobody's ever done, right? Nobody's ever done. And to be told that you're done, I don't know if that sits right. They haven't talked about that specifically, but the other things that they wanted tweaked, some have been taken care of, some haven't. Go back to Ted Cruz's statement. Yeah, I think we could pass this bill without the SEC and the Big Ten support. I don't think so.
Again, I don't think they pass it even if it is supported, but that's just my feeling.
You might be right. Trey Wallace says, remember, it's 4th down today with Senate markup session on college sports bill. There could be a drinking game established for this hearing today with these puns. Landmark, 4th down, last chance. I absolutely love it. Hey, it's never your last chance because there's always opportunities to join Shoot 360 Memphis, and you can do so on a monthly membership. But why wait? It is hot out there. If you're going outside to get in your basketball shots and workout, you're going to collapse in that heat. What you want is to be inside, to be indoors, a great facility at 72 degrees, perfect to get your shots up, and that is Shoot 360 Memphis. This is a revolutionary basketball training facility, second to none. The gamification, so you're having fun while doing so, while getting better with the coaching that they bring, with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching from coaches at every level, guys that have been at high school, have coached in college, and even the NBA. They can help you. They can steer you in the right direction. And then you're getting that analytical feedback from the shooting bays that they have at both the Collierville and the Cordova locations. You get in there and you get the instant analytical feedback. It's second to none. It's Shoot 360 Memphis in Collierville, the original at 85 Market Street. Call them at 901-316-5500. In Cordova, Big Orange Road, that's 901-779-3176. And again, you can join on a monthly basis. The future of basketball training is here at Shoot 360 Memphis. We're going to talk some Grizzlies off the court when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
Landers Ford in Collierville is celebrating America 250. During our Landers 250 event, we're out to sell 250 specially selected new Fords, even new Ford F-150s. Employee pricing for all, plus Ford retail bonus cash. $6,000 for new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT trims. $5,000 for new 2025 Ford F-150 STX trim. Or $3,500 for new 2025 Ford F-150 Platinum, Lariat, or King Ranch trim. That's right, employee pricing for all at the #1 Ford dealer in the Mid-South, Landers Ford in Collierville. Get started now with our Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. New F-150s with employee pricing for all. Act now. 250 new Fords will sell fast. Give us a call to schedule your test drive today. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2025 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report. Memphis Market. Employee pricing is a Ford A-Plan pricing program. U.S. residents only. Prior purchase is not eligible. Other exclusions may apply. See dealer for complete details. Price plus tax title license. Offer includes $695 processing fee. Offering 7626.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Your home is your best investment, so why not make it the best it can be with help from Gates Lumber? Start with your front door, serving two purposes, curb appeal and security. Gates has solid construction doors built for security, durability, and beauty. See and compare wood, steel, and fiberglass options side by side at Gates Showroom. It's easier to choose when you can see and touch real doors with real assistance from knowledgeable staff helping you choose the right door for your home and budget. So don't just replace your door, upgrade your protection, and Gates Lumber is the right choice. Family owned and operated, serving you for over 100 years with free estimates, free delivery, competitive prices, and quality products. Call 901-942-3201, go to gateslumber.com, or come by their showroom, 1253 South Bellevue Boulevard. Gates Lumber, celebrating over 100 years with a passion for craftsmanship since 1920.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:30 is the time. Final half hour for us today. Carly Lyons in just a moment on the Grizzlies. I did want to mention this because Jay Ham did all the work, but I was talking earlier about wondering how many countries don't play soccer. Just about everybody plays soccer. In fact, this story says every sovereign country plays soccer. But there are 8 UN member states that do not have a recognized national team affiliated with FIFA. Doesn't mean that they don't play soccer, just not affiliated with FIFA. These non-affiliated nations are Monaco. They're too busy on their yachts drinking the best champagne in the world. Vatican City. Now, can't you put a team together with the Pope? I mean,
could.
He'd be a great striker, I think. Federated States of Micronesia. And now we get into the fun part. Countries I've never heard of. Well, I've heard of the Marshall Islands, but Palau, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Nauru. And please apologize if I mispronounced any of those names.
That's why I sent it to you as opposed to saying it myself.
I believe Tuvalu you could take for weight loss.
Without further ado, it is getting to be an exciting time for the Memphis Grizzlies, coming off a rough year, but with the draft coming up next week, the excitement of what could happen in the offseason for the Grizzlies. There are a lot of things happening with the draft, and during the summer, as they always do, they produce, the Grizzlies do, and Carly Lyons is behind a lot of that. The Director of Promotions and Regional Marketing for the Grizzlies, Carly Lyons, joining us now. How are you, Carly?
I'm so well. How are you guys? Good morning.
Good morning. We're doing well. I was asking Eli earlier off air. I said, how long's Carly been? How long have you been with the Grizzlies now?
This will be, I think, season 20 for me.
Wow! Congratulations. I knew it was more. I know we were talking with Eli, and Eli, you were saying more like on the 10, maybe.
I said it was over 10. I did.
Yeah, we've seen Carly for so many years, so she's a big part of the fabric of the Memphis Grizzlies. So, Carly, the draft next week, this is no ordinary draft. As everybody knows, it's star-studded, first of all, but second of all, where the Grizzlies right now are scheduled to pick, 3, 16, and in the second round, number 32. So there's a lot of excitement and anticipation around the community. So you guys will have a Grizzlies draft party. Give us the details.
Yeah, so Tuesday, June 23rd, at FedEx Forum, we will host anyone and everyone. It's free to the public to come, and we hope you do. Should be a really fun night. As you mentioned, super exciting pick with number 3. Free, and anyone who comes can also register for a free preseason ticket. So we want to get you in the building for draft night. We want to experience the excitement of that pick together, and then we want you back out when we tip off the season in October.
And the parking will be free as well, right? On a first come, first serve
Yeah,
basis?
so we do have some construction at the Gossett Garage. So parking is less than it would be during a regular season game. So you do want to get here early. Doors open at 6 o'clock for a 7 o'clock start to the broadcast. There is parking, first come, first serve, a little bit more limited than a game night, as mentioned, but that'll be free as well. And then just lots of other entertainment. You can expect, the same game night entertainment you've come to enjoy during the season. We'll have all of our live entertainment teams, giveaways, photo booths, inflatables, face painters, all kinds of stuff. Should be a really fun night. The whole lineup of our broadcast and GCM team members will be there to analyze and kind of talk about what you're seeing on the draft broadcast. And like I said, should be something for everyone. Bring out the whole family, and we'll have a good time.
That sounds great. Again, you said the doors open at 6?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
And it goes till the end, till the entire first round is complete, right?
Yep, we'll host throughout the entire first draft through the last pick, and be with y'all the whole way. Analyze what we see and see if we trade up, see what happens. Could be an exciting night.
All right, that'll be next Tuesday, so we're right around the corner from the first round of the draft. Wednesday will be the second round, but again, this is the draft party that'll take place on Tuesday at FedEx Forum. Now, in the meantime, summer officially begins Sunday, or you wouldn't know it already by the temperatures that we've had here in the recent weeks, but officially it's the start of summer on Sunday, Father's Day, and you guys do a lot of things over the summer.
You're very busy.
Right. You're prepping everybody for the start of the basketball season, get them into that basketball mode. First of all, kids camps. I know you got those scheduled.
We do. We've got summer camps for youth, 6 to 13 throughout the summer and throughout the Mid-South. We're not only just in Memphis and the suburbs. We're, I think in West Jackson, Tennessee this week. We're, go to North Mississippi, Tupelo, Hernando, stuff like that. So check Grizzlies.com if you have a youth in your life who loves basketball. Our clinics are really fun. In addition to great, basketball instruction, there's always giveaways and surprise appearances, and it's just really fun to meet other young Grizz fans and spend some time doing that during the summer.
You've also, I assume you've got auditions for various roles on the Claw Crew and all that stuff during the summer?
We do. All of our live entertainment teams have to re-audition each off season. So tipping us off in late July, we've got our grannies and grandpas and our Blue Bunch. Then we'll roll into the Grizz Girls and Grizz Line and Claw Crew, but we would love to have some fresh blood, some new faces. So if you have ever wanted to perform on the court at a Grizzlies game, again, check out Grizzlies.com for dates and details, but we'd love to see you out. There's also pre-audition classes. So if you're a first-timer and are a little nervous, you can come in advance, learn the choreography, get a feel for it, and get prepared before audition day.
Greg did want me to ask, what is the age limit for the grannies and grandpas?
Oh, man. You are asked. I want to say 50. It might be 55, but I think it's 50.
Okay, so you're easily qualified, Greg.
I'm too old. I mean, like super granddad or whatever.
You're never too old.
Carly Lyons joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Carly, you talked about those kids, the camps. Is there a charge, or are they free to the public?
There is a charge for the camp, but you get a lot of value with the cost. In addition to, like I mentioned, the instruction, the basketball instruction, there's always giveaways, jerseys, basketballs, water bottles, and it's really fun time.
So the draft party next Tuesday, 6 o'clock. All of this stuff, I'm guessing they can get information on the website, right?
Yes, it's all there, Grizzlies.com. We try to keep all the details there for easy access. Also, you can download the app. All the info is usually there as well. But we'd love to have a full house on Tuesday for draft night. I think it'll be a lot of fun to be with a lot of Memphians and a lot of Grizz fans. I think the energy should be high, and it's time to get excited for the Grizzlies.
And I also saw here that whoever the Grizzlies do draft, fans will be able to pre-order their jersey as well.
Yeah, so their jersey can be pre-ordered on draft night. We also have the official New Era draft hat. If you're interested in, purchasing a draft hat, those will be in the team store on draft night. And then we also have, a pretty good sale going on right now on limited items left over from the previous season, 40% off a lot of stuff in the Grizz Den. So if you're a fan and you want to like load up on gear, draft night's a good time to do it.
From your past experiences, how quickly after the draft will they have the jerseys of the new players?
So we may not know their number. You can certainly pre-order it immediately following the pick. Sometimes we know their number. Sometimes there might be a conflict where that number's already taken and they have to give some thought to what they want their new number to be. But sometimes it's really quick. Sometimes it's not. But you can pre-order it and get in the queue to be one of the first fans to have that. And you'll be able to pick it up in store too. So you don't have to wait on shipping. You'll just come by when it's ready. And like I said, be one of the first fans with that new picks jersey.
Anything else that you need to tell our listeners about?
No, I think we covered it all. That was a lot of information. So if you missed some of it, again, Grizzlies.com. But we'd love to have you out on draft night. It should be a really fun time. Lots of entertainment, lots of giveaways, and just being with Grizz Nation on an exciting night should be fun for all.
She is the Director of Promotions and Regional Marketing for the Grizzlies. 20 years been working, and she works her tail off. Carly Lyons, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, see, they got to wait to see if that number 12 opens up for Boozer or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you pre-order that thing, but can't get it right away because you got to see if the number 12 opens or not.
Yeah, I guess I should have realized that they do things like that pre-order. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it'll be interesting with that number if he ends up being the guy. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm always excited about the NBA draft. Always excited. The draft where they got Ja and everybody was going for Zion and they came up a little short and they ended up, number 2. But that was more the draft lottery because we knew Zion was going 1 and most people knew Ja was going 2.
As soon as I saw Memphis was number 2, I remember posting Memphis draft Ja Morant.
Yeah. And so the excitement of that year was, again, the lottery. This time, even though it was exciting to see where the Grizzlies would land in the lottery, if they would move up, and they did, they moved up to 3. But now, the uncertainty of what's happening. Again, early on, after the lottery, it was like Boozer's going 3 automatically. Boozer's going 3. He may not. He may be going 1 or 2. But then again, he may be going 3. But either way, Darren Peterson, Boozer, they can't go wrong. And so the anticipation for what they'll do, plus what they'll do with 16, are they going to move up? Are they going to keep the pick? Are they going to throw 32 into a trade? What's the possibilities with Ja being dealt by the draft or before the draft? All these things make for excitement around Memphis. Then you get to the free agency period and things of that nature. It's a great time.
It's an anticipating time.
It's hope. It's the time for hope. That's you have to sell hope, and this is when. As soon as they moved up to number 3, it was an increase in hope level. I mean, that's just bottom line.
You hit the reset button. You want to get the best reset you can possibly get.
Yeah, and you took the words out of my mouth. I didn't mean to say great because this team was terrible this past year, and they've gone through so many injuries, and that's still a concern. But it is anticipated. It's exciting, and that's what we're going to have next week. It's again why I don't believe fans get all that too crazily upset about tanking, because it's their hope. It provides them hope. You end up with this as the result. They go, hey, we got a chance to change our fortunes and do something. And so, it is what it is. But it's again, should be a fun night. And I hope they have a big crowd down there at FedEx Forum. It's pretty good TV to watch it on. It's a pretty large television to be able to watch the draft on down there at FedEx Forum. And, again, absolutely free to get in, free to park there in the garage. But again, make sure you get there early because they are limited a little bit as far as the parking is concerned, but absolutely free to go down there and watch the draft and have a good time down at FedEx Forum next Tuesday night. If you're thinking about breakfast here in Memphis, be thinking about Sunrise with their 2 locations, serving up that great breakfast and great lunch as well at both of those locations. You've got the original location, the downtown location on Jefferson Avenue, and then you've got the Sunrise East location on Poplar Avenue
in East Memphis. Great breakfast sandwiches with those big old house-made biscuits that they've got, plus the kitchen sink and the breakfast bowls and all the little cocktails, like six different kinds of Bloody Marys that they've got, or a mimosa, or maybe it's just one of the local beers, whatever it might be. They've got that for you as well at Sunrise. But also, again, great lunch to go with that great breakfast with great sandwiches and salads. If you go to sunrise901.com, you can see the menus. You can get information about catering. You can order online for pickup, which makes it very easy, very quick for you to get some food maybe on your way to work in the morning. Open from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. 670 Jefferson Avenue, that's downtown. 5469 Poplar Avenue, that's Sunrise East. For breakfast and lunch, it is Sunrise.
When we come back, I want to take you down memory lane. Plus, we'll give you an update on the U.S. Open. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16.99. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Marty McNate's on vacation, but passed along some exciting deals at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's Volkswagen Driver Days event. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S. Just $249 a month. $249 a month for Jetta S. Luxury just got a new definition in 2026 Tiguan 2.0 TS. Now $269 a month. Brand new Tiguan S $269 a month. Plus 2026 Atlas SE. Only $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. Marty McNate will be waiting for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com, and remember, your future's what you make it.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/30/26. Dealer stock only.
A long life is wonderful, but it comes with changes as you age. So when you're ready to change your home, Town Village Audubon Park is the perfect choice. Incredible location, amazing amenities, including a pool, all-inclusive dining, and on-site medical care so you can age in place. Monthly rental with no buy-in lets you make current choices. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, bi-weekly housekeeping, and all basic utilities. Landscape courtyards make it easy to get sunshine and fresh air. Gated parking keeps you ready to go. And the Town Village Dog Park keeps your fur baby close by your side. Hi, I'm Max. My wife Jean and I moved into Town Village Audubon Park 18 months ago. It's the best decision we ever made. We have made friends here and take part in lots of social activities. It's a comfortable life. So if you're thinking of making a change, come see me and Town Village Audubon Park. I think you'll like it as much as we do. And look, new friends.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:47 is the time. Our final segment here on this Thursday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. U.S. Open, Shinnecock Hills. They started very early this morning, and then they had to stop because the fog rolled in, and it was, I'm not sure exactly how long, but probably upwards to about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So now we're starting to get that action going, and some of the bigger names have finally hit the course.
Yeah, and Rory's off to a fast start. Rory McIlroy, who's playing, started on the back nine, birdied 2 of his first 3 holes. He and Sam Burns are both at 2 under par. Leading the way right now, there are 6 players out of the course who are under par. Now, Rory is in a little bit of trouble on his 4th hole of the day. Had it hit out of the rough and missed the green there. But Scotty Scheffler is at even par through his first couple of holes. But Brooks Koepka's out there on the course as well. He's at even par. You do have a little flashback with Graham McDowell, former U.S. Open champion. He is one of the players who is at 1 under par. He is through 4 holes on his first round, the 2010 champion at Pebble Beach. But the guys under par are Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy at 2 under par. McDowell, Keegan Bradley, Andrew Novak, and Ben James. Those are the players who are under par in the first round so far, very early on. The former Ole Miss golfer, Jackson Suber, one of the first guys out, he is through 7 holes. He is at even par on his first round.
Not far from Shinnecock Hills, if you go due west, you eventually get to Manhattan, about an hour and a half away, I think it is, and the parade is underway for the New York Knicks, the NBA champion New York Knicks, where the record, according to AI, for attendance at a parade, the Cubs, 2016, correct? 5 million was the estimated crowd. This one should blow it out the water. And they're showing some of the stars that have assembled. They're not all in one area, I don't believe, but Martha Stewart. Who knew? Martha Stewart arriving. Big story right now. Martha Stewart arriving at the parade. She a native New Yorker? New York Knicks fan? Anyway, going to be a fun day. Hopefully a safe, non-violent day as well in New York City.
Some of the videos and pictures from early, I mean, they were lining up at 4 a.m. There were big lines at 4 a.m. to try and get spots for that parade. That's why I'm not willing to do that. Like, I'm 6 hours before the parade starts. I'm not getting in line for that.
Well, I know this is a different topic altogether, but it has to do with New Yorkers. They're not all New Yorkers at the parade, right? There's people from out of the country, out of state, whatever the case is. But you've seen the story about Bethpage Black, which is going back toward Manhattan on Long Island from Shinnecock Hills. Bethpage Black, a public course where dudes sleep in their cars overnight to be able to get a tee time to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, New Yorkers, they don't mind coming early to events, staying late for events, because there's so many people that they're battling to either be on the course or to maybe watch from the front row and not the 30th row, the New York Knicks parade. So yesterday, Mr. NBA historian, was the 40th anniversary of the 1986 NBA draft. 1986 NBA draft. That was my second year in television in Maryland. And it's one, of course, that stands out for me.
Yeah.
Because Len Bias was the number 2 pick. And there were others, that was a tragic story.
Yeah.
There's other stories of players that bad things befell on them. Do you remember the number 1? I'm sure you do. The number 1 pick in that draft?
It's Brad Daugherty, wasn't it?
Brad Daugherty.
Yeah.
But I want to rattle you off the names. Now, remember, it's all relative.
The Daugherty, Bias, Washburn.
Yes. Hang on. Don't get to the rest yet. I know you know them.
So just remember those 3.
Okay, well, again, the names I'm going to give you, obviously big names, guys that were great in college, but they didn't really pan out, some better than others in the NBA. And again, you're going to see big names and go, oh, it was good. But this draft has to be one of the worst drafts. Again, Len Bias, he would have been a superstar, but he died. Brad Daugherty, good, solid player. He's not a Hall of Famer or anything. In fact, there's only 2 Hall of Famers from this draft class, 1 in the first round, and it was a late pick. Okay? Brad Daugherty led by is Chris Washburn. Again, Chris Washburn's career in the NBA, nothing.
Washed out.
Chuck Person, solid role player. Okay. Did he play with the Grizzlies? Did Chuck Person end up playing with the Grizzlies?
Briefly, I believe.
I think he did. Did he not?
Wesley Person did.
Oh, maybe it's Wesley Person. Okay, I'm sorry.
Wesley.
Oh, this is the Rifleman, Chuck Person. He was better than Wesley. I was thinking Wesley, but Chuck Person was very good. Kenny Walker.
Kenny Skywalker.
Again, he was with the Knicks for a while, but again, a ho-hum NBA career. William Bedford out of Memphis.
Right out of here, yeah.
And his NBA career was?
He went to prison for a minute.
Yes, yes. 7, Roy Tarpley.
Oh,
Didn't he go to prison too?
Man, yeah, well, he got banned from the league. Cocaine use.
Yep. Number 8, solid career, Ron Harper, whose son Dylan obviously is crushing it right now. How many of the Bulls NBA titles was Harper a part of?
The last 3.
Yeah, he was on the second wave.
Okay. Brad Sellers out of Ohio State.
Bulls want all their money back for that one.
Yeah. Johnny Dawkins, solid. John Sally ended up being a solid player on the Bad Boys Pistons, but other teams.
Brad Sellers, I always remember because he's the first guy to hug Michael after the shot.
Yeah,
he's the first guy there to hug Michael after the shot. That's Brad Sellers' career.
John Hot Plate Williams.
Wow.
From LSU.
I remember him.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Next, Pearl Washington. Nothing.
Gone too soon, too.
Walter Berry.
He was good.
In the NBA?
He was better at St. John's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do much in the NBA at all.
I'm thinking Walter Davis, my bad.
Yeah, this is Walter Berry out of St. John's. Del Curry, solid career, good shooter. Yeah. I don't know how many times he made the All-Star. Next guy, Maurice Martin. Who?
I don't remember.
Maurice Martin. Harold Presley out of Villanova, playing off that national championship team, but he did nothing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Mark Allery.
Former Duke guy.
Yeah. What did he do in the NBA?
Nothing.
One of the first hateable white guys at Duke.
Right. I mean, he and Jay Billis.
He started a trend. Billy Thompson out of Louisville. I don't know what kind of NBA career he had. I don't think it was much. Buck Johnson. Anthony Jones out of UNLV. He didn't do anything, right? Scott Skiles played a little bit, then became a coach.
Had the assist record still, single game.
Okay, next guy.
He's decent.
He's a decent player. Next guy. We all remember him well. Ken Barlow.
Okay.
I mean, this is the draft. This is the first round of the NBA draft. You finally get the number 24, and you get Arvydas Sabonis, Hall of Famer. Right. But remember, the Hall of Fame is international stuff, so a lot of it was because of what Sabonis did before he came to the NBA.
And it was more than a decade later before he came.
Right. Great passer, but, he's Mark Price, number 25, really good, solid shooter in the NBA. All-star guy.
Yeah.
Greg Dreiling, the big out of Kansas, I think it was. He did nothing. And then finally, I guess he was first round, not second round, Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Who ended up, of course, being Dennis Rodman. Larry Krystowiak, Johnny Newman. Not the Richmond Johnny Newman.
Yeah.
Nate McMillan, role player. Joe Ward, never heard of him. Cedric Henderson out of Memphis, ended up going 32nd overall. Had a little stay with the Cavaliers, but not that long.
That went in 86, though.
Yeah, what the hell's he on this list for?
Might be a different Cedric Henderson.
Oh, God, you're right about that. No, this is the 86 NBA draft. It says, is it different?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It is a different. Thank you for picking that up. Cedric Henderson out of Simac Milano, Italy. What? Yeah, I remember him. He didn't do anything. Kevin Duckworth was okay. He was a backup big. Johnny Rogers out of UC Irvine.
Kevin Duckworth did start on 2 finals teams.
Yeah. Duckworth's okay. Again, Milt Wagner, our friend Milt Wagner. Steve Mitchell. The point is, Lamone Lampley.
Don't be disrespecting my blue demon.
Yeah, Augusta Benelli. I mean, come on, man. This was a terrible. Now, in the second round, late, there's a Jeff Hornacek pick.
Okay.
He ended up being really good. Michael Jackson. No, not that one. The one who threw the ball. Was it Michael? No, that was Brown who threw the ball to Worthy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Jackson, Forrest McKenzie, Juden Smith. Again, this has to be, and I don't know, you're the historian. Maybe you could talk with your guys and tell me worse draft than that one.
It sounds like it'll be up there with 2000.
2000 was a real bad one?
But that one actually sounds worse than 2000.
That is just, that is
I
terrible.
can find some cool stuff from 2000, where, Mike Miller and Kenya Martin being the last senior to go number one overall. But that's online for 2000.
That is a bad draft. Again, Lenny Bias plays. Lenny Bias, in my opinion, becomes a Hall of Fame type player, but it didn't happen.
Cocaine caused a lot of issues with that draft.
That's right.
Roy Tarpley, Chris Washburn, Len Bias, yeah.
Oh, and some others as well. Good point, Eli. That's going to do it for us today. I want to thank Austin White for joining us, Steve Sands, who joined us live from Shinnecock Hills, Kerry Miller, and Carly Lyons. Tomorrow we'll wrap up the week with John Varlas, Joe DeLeon. Wes Craker will join us to talk about the big Hole-in-One Festival over at St. Louis Church. We'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. It's all coming up tomorrow, starting bright and early at 7 a.m. Landon Schmidt, Darian Newsom will be in for Wolo, who will return on Monday. Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 is next. For Eli Savoy and for Jay Ham, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.